Sometimes when I'm talking, it's just like, I don't know. It's weird. Depends on who you talk to. If I'm talking to somebody from the hood, y'all, I have a hood accent. If I'm talking to someone from the business world, my corporate America thing kicks in. If I'm talking to somebody, one of my country friends, my country thing kicks in. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think my parents raised me to just be a chameleon or something. I just jump around. If you hear, so I was let me give a minute for people to come in. Let me pull up my comments so I can see what y'all are talking about. But I don't know. It's the weekend, man. We'll have some fun. I don't talk about no politics. But you daggone colonize. Why everybody want to support the colony? Why y'all love the colony so much? We love the colony. We love the king. I'm having some theories this morning, y'all. I'm thinking it's not morning time, is it? I'm having some theories, and I actually think that the colonization didn't start when we think it did. I have a whole different idea on this. I want you to tell me what you think of this. But you know how like we start talking about colonizers and people get defensive already. Oh, he's talking about us. He talk. No, I am not talking about European folks. I am not. Colonization, I think, started way before then, right? Because the more you process what's going on today and how they're hiding ancient archaeology and they're getting everyone they can to attack and pretend they're not finding footprints that are millions of years old, pretending they're not finding what was that bowl that was millions of years old, pretending that all of these ancient sites that the ancients found that they just made them, that they didn't go and find them and build on top of a structure that somebody else built. And every time you ask them who built it, they say the gods built it. You know, all the religions, the ancient people who said that we've been here a lot longer than what everyone thinks. This is what I think. So like, well, let me show you a picture because I think people we get lost, man. You know, we got to stop defending the king. The king is not on your side. When I think of the colonization, let me show you a picture. This is what I think of. I think of this, right? Like it's not about the Europeans coming to you and taking over your lands wherever you are. This was a king colonization, right? This was a centralized government colonization of the world. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about we all used to be all these tribes all over Europe, the Germanic tribes and the British tribes and, you know, all Africa and North America. We were all tribal, right? Aborigines in Australia. And then the colonization of central government came in, right? So this is not a anti-European thing. When you talk about colonization, we're talking about the rape and destruction of human civilization, of hundreds of thousands of tribal people all over the planet, tribes that had connections going back in history to the ancients, right? The tribes that still have the tradition of handing down, you know, the holistic medicine and the how to build and using the keystones and the metal to lock the stones together, the megalith builders, right? But what happens is when the colonizers came, whether they came to your land by boat or they came to your land, they walked there. This whole idea of centralization of government to an emperor, a king, and some lords, uh, they would delete your history, right? Because what they need the most is they need people who aren't prideful, right? You can't have pride. You cannot have pride in something being greater than you coming before this centralized king government, Congress, or whatever, president, prime minister, whatever you want to call it. They need you to think they're the greatest thing on the planet. It's like now, or the greatest thing in the universe. It's like today. Why are they hiding UFOs flying every damn where? They're everywhere. Everybody see, not everybody. I don't see them, but they're everywhere. But if the greatest, because we worship technology and we worship power, and so if the greatest powers we see are our government, we worship that and we worship them and we don't question anything. We always look up to them. They become our gods. Money becomes our god. But if you know that there's something greater, then you question them. If you know going back in history that we probably had a lot of this technology and different types of technology, whether it be spiritual or, there are buildings that we don't know how they built. There's so much, but the whole point is that the same reason they don't want people looking back at ancient archaeology today and ancient evidence of humans being on this planet, or ancient aliens, if you want to go there, is simply because they want you to think they're the greatest thing. They don't want you to have pride in who you are. That's why a lot of people from Europe, they get that, oh, we're the colonizers. No, you're not. You were colonized. You have rich ethnic cultural history that's been deleted. Uh-oh, no sound. Can y'all hear me? Oh, I've been talking for about 20 minutes. I got him out, y'all. Y'all know that. Is that just Lolimar? Oh, okay. Somebody else can hear me. Okay, I'm off. Well, I say, oh, dang, was I sitting here talking? And that's why I gotta greet people. I'm sorry. I get excited sometimes. Y'all know me. It's like I'm like a dog. I start wagging my tail. I get excited. I start having these thoughts. I want to talk to people. I want to share, have a discussion. This is what this is. I'm actually not really presenting anything today, not necessarily. I just want to have a discussion. I want to talk about, like, how old is man? Man, I mean, I think the evidence we have is that man is millions of years old. And all of that history, that rich history, is just covered up. Okay, y'all can hear me. Okay, thank you. Lolimar, get your system fixed. What's wrong with you, Lolimar? Oh my goodness, I have something funny. I gotta say something funny. Is Chris here? Hopefully Chris ain't here. I'm gonna talk about him for a minute. Yeah, I was watching Chris yesterday. Oh look, oh he had an intelligent brother on with him yesterday. It was good. But they were having problems. They couldn't hear each other. And so I guess Chris had his phone. It's like, oh, you can't hear me? You can't hear me, brother? I got to learn how to mimic Chris like Harsh does. You can't hear me, brother? You can't hear me? All right, let me turn the phone upside down. Can you hear me better? Can you hear me, brother? I'm sorry. Oh, it's so wrong. It's so wrong. I know it's wrong, but I was dying laughing. I said, did Chris just turn the phone upside down to fix his microphone? I'm like, oh Lord, oh boy, oh Chris, hey brother, when we meet, I had to give Chris a hug. I mean, y'all, if y'all see Chris, somebody give him a hug. Anyway, so, all right, let me say hi to everybody. Let me say hi. See who's in the room this morning. Hey, Amy, good morning. First up in the room, Brother Robert. Yes, we're going to chase the white rabbit, man. I think we need to chase Alice down this hole. It's always some holes, and they always running down the holes. I think we are Alice in Wonderland, but we got a lot of people who don't know that we Alice. I think that's what I'm thinking, Robert. I think a lot of people, they think Wonderland is like, this is real, and it's not. This is not real. They're hiding the facts from us. They're always hiding the truth, whether it's the politicians or the archaeologists, the banks. So I think part of what we do is we just want to kind of convince people that we are Alice and we are down a hole. And Wonderland sucks, man. Robert, it sucks, brother. Wonderland sucks because we actually don't know the truth of anything. So I say question everything. Brother William, good morning. How you doing, brother? Lola Mar, I already said hi to Lola Mar. Get your sound fixed, man. You know what? Lola Mar, you male or female? Sometimes y'all have names I don't even know, and I sound prejudiced, racist, genderist, or something because I don't know how names work. But anyway, Lola Mar, I hope you get your sound fixed. Because I look real stupid. I probably look stupid anyway, but I look real stupid just talking, no sound coming out. You don't know some accent, Mike? Oh, man, I got an accent. I do. It goes back and forth. It'll go to country. It'll go to city. It flips around. When I'm in a good mood, I pretend that's like the UK. I don't know. Why does the UK accent sound so damn intelligent? I hate y'all. I don't like y'all at all. I don't. No, I do. I love y'all. But why does the UK accent sound intelligent? If somebody says something in a UK accent, I'm always like, damn, why is he so smart? He could say, he could just lie, say the wall is blue. You know, that's a horrible accent. But I sit there and believe, dang, maybe the wall is blue. Maybe my eyes are messed up. Let me clean this. And that's probably my indoctrination. I know, it probably is. But you hear the King's English, and see you damn colonizers. Anyway, all right, who else we got? Brother Billy's in the house. Yeah, I like the Scottish accent too, Brother Billy. I like the Scottish. Is that a good Scottish accent? I like that. When I was in the, oh man, I was in the UK, Billy, they had me. I don't know which one. Is it Scottish? Is it blood pudding? Or what is the other? Haggis? Oh, don't tell me y'all eat that. If you eat it, it's okay. I mean, I'm not gonna be like cultural prejudice, but I went to the cafeteria in the morning. It was a corporate thing, and they were eating blood pudding. Like, oh man, y'all should have kept that on the island. Don't send the blood. Because I think blood pudding is blood. Anyway, all right, I'm not gonna talk about Scotland this morning. I love Scotland. I love the Scottish. I love the Scottish. Scottish, is it Scottish? Is it Ireland? Scott? I don't know. I don't know anything, brother. Billy, they got me in ignorant America, and they just lock you down. They don't tell you nothing. We just cultural agnostic, and all we see is America. I'm just trying to look beyond that, brother. That's why I'm glad you a buddy of mine. St. Patty's Day today. Yes, St. Patrick's Day. Everybody join hands and say happy St. Patrick's Day. I don't care if you don't have no Irish or Celtic or anything in you. We got to embrace all of humanity, people. We are all cousins. We all love each other. We are all related. We are all fighting the colonizers, right? Let's do that. Brother Mike said aliens. I don't know if we're getting into aliens, Mike. I want to know how old man is. I want to know because there's evidence man is millions of years old. Sister Catherine talking about giants. I love giants. Catherine, I'm looking at the Book of Gigantes. I don't know if you ever seen that. It's the Book of Gigantes where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls, where they lost book of the Bibles that the Christians don't like to read because their pastors won't tell them that they they don't have all the books. Some of the books got removed, and I think I know why. I think I know what Catherine. I was reading the Book of Gigantes, the Book of Giants, and it was talking about the Muslim religion. It was talking about Buddha, and it talked about Christ. It's interesting to me that that book would mention three different, the major religions, I guess they are, or the founders of those religions, why they don't want it in the Bible, why they just deleted it, because they want the people who worship the Bible. And if you do, I love you. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying, I used to believe that the Bible was the word of God. It was breathed right from his mouth. And a little bit of study will really get you to a point, and a little understanding that man always says that. Man says that. There are 8,000 different versions of the Bible, and they all just got breathed from God's mouth because man wants to control you. Man wants to convince you he's God, like the colonizers. That's why they always deleted our history, because they always want to pretend they're God. If we worship them, it's like the billionaires. We say we don't worship them, but we do. People try to get the biggest house they can get, the fastest car, the highest technology. There is a worship there that we don't want to admit up to, but we do. So anyway, no, Book of Giants, I'm reading this. It's interesting. It's deep because it relates to the Book of Enoch, and they go back and forth. But we have no idea who we are. We are old, and something helped us out in the past. I'm not. Brother Michael said aliens. I'm not going to necessarily say aliens. I don't know if I'm an ancient alien theorist. I think I'm just someone who thinks that we don't know anything. And if you go back in time, like other people talk about, what is it, that man goes back eventually in the future, we discover time travel, and that we're, once we discover time travel, y'all should watch Star Trek. Star Trek is awesome. But once we discover time travel, that we'll probably go back in time and try to give ourselves technology, evolve us a little further. Because once we start going out in the universe, we'll find species that are 1 billion years old with technology we can't compete with, and they probably always wipe us out. So if we discover time travel first, we go back and try to give ourselves a little technology, help us to evolve a little faster. So by the time we get to a place where we are space traveling, we can deal with all the stuff because y'all know it's a lot out there. It's a lot out there. So it's a good theory. It's interesting, but it actually makes a lot of sense, especially when you look at quantum physics and, time travel theory, real deep. Anyway, who else we got this morning? Sister Sandra's in the house. Good morning. And Lynn and Carla, good afternoon. Machu Picchu behind me. Brother Jim and Mary and Michael and Lori, Chris, Gabrielle. All right. Somebody already jumped. Billy jumping on it. First they sent missionaries, then they sent their military. Ooh, brother Billy, you hitting deep already. Because that isn't that what they talk about with the economic hitmen? First they send the economic hitmen, and if you don't do what they want, you don't give them the right price on oil or minerals or whatever, eventually the U.S. military comes. But before the U.S. military comes, before the English military came, before the French and Italian or whoever came, Shaka Zulu, before the military came, there was always that question though. They always want to make sure, well, you're going to give us your resources. You're going to give us something cheap before they invade you. And if you don't do that, then, oh, they're attacking, they're pagans, right? Because that's what the colonizers always do. We're going to save people, which is why I don't agree with y'all co-opting Christianity and saying, oh, we're going to bring Jesus to them. We're going to get the pagans. No, no, you're getting lost if you're thinking of on that level, I think, because that's mid-tier stuff. Like, think about it from a philosophical colonizer perspective. What you need to do is you need to get other poor people to go kill those poor people. So if you can use religion, you will. If you can say they're gassing kids, you will. If you can say they use chemical weapons, do that. Christopher Columbus discovered America like nobody else was here. People still say that. It's funny. Christopher discovered America at night. They go, they find something that they want. They go home. They find other just people who are just living their lives. And they trick them in that, oh, we're going to save people because they're bad pagans. We got to go get them. Philosophically. So Christians didn't invade the world, y'all. Those people who invaded the world, they happened to be Christian. They didn't know anything about no Christ. These were people who were fooled because they let their 1% trick them into killing a bunch of other people because it was a good idea. They were going to save them from something. They were going to help something. So think about it from that perspective. That's how I like to think about it anyway. Sister Marion is in the house. All right, Lynn. And who else we got? Oh, some names I can't even pronounce. We got some international people going on. Sister Crystal's in the house. All right, Heidi. All right, I got a lot of people. Let me go down to the bottom comments. I'm sorry if I missed a couple comments. I saw Nora and a couple others. Woo! Oh, Nora, what'd you say? Nora said, God is only consciousness. I don't know. I don't know, Nora. I'm one person who believes that I am Alice and I'm in Wonderland and I don't know the truth of nothing. So I'm not going to tell you that I know that. I know consciousness is real. I think God is real. I think that we got all these things we believe and it probably all is the same thing. But some people describe it this way. Other people describe it that way. And I just think that we should probably talk to each other with a little more respect, a whole lot more humility. And we can compare notes, find out who these people are, some aliens or something. I want to know, but we'll never know if we're combative, right? If we tell people that we know it all, we got it on lock, we got it figured out. Come follow with us and worship the people we say to worship. No, I don't think anybody knows it. I think we all got like little nuggets and pieces. Like I was in a good conversation the other day, and I think we all have little nuggets and pieces, right? I think we all got little nuggets and pieces, and if we actually give a damn about each other enough, we speak to each other enough, we don't do what the Americans are doing right now, fighting each other because they're left or right, then we get to learn and we compare notes. Because you know what? If I were God, I'm gonna say this real quick. Oh, if I was God, I just wipe everybody. We all be going. I start all over. I take cats and I would put my genes in cats and I'd make them the evolved species because y'all we didn't get it. Starting with monkeys was a bad idea. Too violent. Chimpanzees too damn violent. If I were God, I would do that. I think I'd give every continent like a little bit of something, you know, but a little piece of the puzzle. But you would have to work together with people on other continents to put the full picture together. Because I wouldn't want you in my space. Space is mine. I would not want you in my space if you're ignorant. If you haven't figured out how not to kill people and take what they got, I wouldn't want you anywhere near my space. I would wait till y'all stop being ignorant. Y'all all compared notes, started working together. That would be evidence to me that you actually evolved out of your ignorance and violence, the learned violence that scarcity brought about, before you could actually get into space. Because I don't want y'all up here. Y'all funky. When you remember Chris, who said that? Queen Elizabeth. She said, I take a bath once a month, whether I need to or not. I make it a thing to take a bath. I said, okay. I don't want no funky monkeys in space, y'all. I don't want none of that. So y'all gonna have to learn to work. That's what I would do, personally. I'd come down. I might take some of y'all up in the spaceship like they did with Enoch. I'd take them up in the spaceship, show them Quetzalcoatl and the rest of them. I'd take them up, show them a little something, Muhammad. I'd take Jesus. I'd look, hey, this is how it works. This is how the world works. Go down, spread a message of love, peace, and kindness. Here the 10 Commandments. Go tell people that. Y'all need to work together, because if not, I'm going to give y'all about 13,000 years, damn it. If y'all can't, listen, I'm on a tight clock, man. I got space. Let me show you the space. Y'all know how big space is. It's a whole lot of planets I got to deal with, man. It's a whole lot out here. I got all kind of species I need to get to. You know what? Y'all see that star right there? That star right there? Man, it's got some dinosaurs on that, on the third moon of one of those stars. They got 3 eyes, 4 bellies, and 8 penises, man. I want to see what happens if I put my genes in them. So I don't have a whole lot of time to mess with y'all. Y'all got about 13,000 years. Y'all don't get it together, man. I'm going to send an asteroid, wipe y'all's planet out, send a flood or something. And then I'm going to come back later, check on y'all in about 1 billion years after I go try to see what I can create over there. Y'all try to get it together. If not, I'm going to wipe you out, send a little asteroid. That's what I do. So I think we got to work together, y'all. I think we got to work together. Alice, let's see what's real in Wonderland. Let's know the wonders, because Wonderland kind of suck right now. It does. We bombs all over the world and craziness. So we're all gods, just don't know it. Sandra, I think that does make sense. Because I think if all the ancient cultures said that, you know, we got a little something piece of God, if I were a creator, every time you create something, you're kind of imparting some of you on them. And I kind of think that makes some sense. I do. Deep down, we all know it's real. Nora said that. Yes, Nora. I think deep down, we're in connection with whatever created us. If it was, I mean, and it's possible it's dumb chance, some microbiology, fungi got together, started dancing, making multicellular organisms. It's possible, but collective and all connected, that could be God too. I'm okay with that. I don't know. But I think deep down we know what's real. Like Nora, I was in a good conversation. We were talking about what is deja vu? We were talking about deja vu the other day. And deja vu might be us, you know, just somehow tapping into the future, somehow tapping into whatever that truth is. Some people say it's the Akashic record. Other people say the omnipotence of God. I don't know. You know, it could just be that everybody's connected and some of us have the ability to do that Edgar Casey thing, right? Where he goes to sleep and he taps into these things. Actually, I think he actually said he went to the Akashic record. Or Jesus or Muhammad. And that's the other thing I would do. I would like give some of y'all some little special powers or abilities, spiritual gifts, whatever you want to call them, so you could tap into things as a messenger. Like, look, y'all got about 1,000 years left because that asteroid's on the way and I'm just going to pluck it. And if you don't work out, I'm going to evolve some damn cats. So let me see. All right. So I want to kind of talk about how old is man? Because when the colonizers always showed up, they always show up and they want to wipe your history, right? It's like what they did with the indigenous and the Native Americans. You know, they put them in the schools so they could wipe out the pride. I mean, you can't have braves at the age of 8, 9 sticking spears and sticking spears at a lady in the pharmaceutical store. No, you need to have indigenous people that you indoctrinate so they think your single form of government, your central managed colonizing government is the greatest thing. And how you do that is you wipe out that past. You delete their history and you raise them in amnesia. You raise them in amnesia of who they are. And so I think that they always do this. And so this is why I think ancient archaeology is important. And people like Mary Leakey, who found, you know, the first indicators that we are millions of years old, that something keeps trying to create life here. And every time it creates life, it doesn't go the right way. And so they end up deleting it. And so I think pictures like this are true from a timeline perspective, that there's always someone who wants what you have. And they always convince other groups of people to get along, get together and go take it from you. And I think that's what's happening today. I mean, you look at Yemen and everywhere else. It's no different than when we showed up elsewhere. And this is why I always call myself a colonizer, because I am. I have a lifestyle that's propped up on these colonies, and I haven't unplugged myself from it. I don't think we can until we take down central government. Because like that's what it is. And it's not a revolution, not a violent one I'm talking about. I'm talking about a point where we evolve our governments past the idea of colonizing, past the idea of taking away other human beings' right to self-determine, that they were born here, so they have to pay taxes here and pay homage to this king or that queen. Because the one thing all of these countries all have in common, all the colonizers, is they all believe in the colonial mindset, that these are my people. I'm a king here, I'm a lord here, and those are your people over there. And we agree with we might fight in war. We'll send each other's people to fight each other in war, but we all believe in the colonizing border mindset that you own them. They call them French, call them whatever you want to call them, you English, Irish, American, you own them and I own these people. That's something that every government across the planet, they all agree on, is that 99.99999% of all people are their slaves. And I think that's one of the things that we have to fight. We have to break down our indoctrination and get past the colonizing mindset and go back and rediscover who we are. And I think the Romans were a bit, let me show you a Roman picture. I think the Romans were a big part of them too. The Romans came and they did their part in destroying. The Huns came, the Genghis Khan, the Prussians, all the big single management governments going back in time. They all went through and did their part in wiping people out, wiping out that ancient culture. And our only tie back into that, or the few cultures that are left that are still tapped into those things and those ancient wisdoms and the megalithic structures. And y'all, I don't know if y'all remember, I was talking about the other day, the temple at Dendra. That fascinates me. It's phenomenal. The idea that there is a temple going way back in ancient history that has steps that were melted. I can show you a picture. You want to see the picture? I don't know if y'all all saw the picture, but I posted it, where they're granite steps and they're melted right up the center, like something walked right up the center or something floated up the center of the steps, but it actually melted it. And the interesting part is, let me show you. I gotta show you. Let me try to find a picture. Stuff fascinates me, man. It blows me away that we have no idea who we are. Here it goes right here. Hold on. Dendra steps. You can find it online. It's all over the place. Right here. Look at this right here. Oh, I'm messing up my screen. Look at these steps right here. Hold on. Let me see. How can I gotta make this smaller, get that out the way. Look at these steps. And so these are granite steps. And they were melted by something. And the thing that I'll add to that, so if you saw this picture last time, it wasn't one flight of steps. It was 2 flights of steps. Look at this right here. 2 flights of steps were completely melted by something. Some form of, let me move my big head over here. Some form of ancient technology. And this is part of what I think the colonizers don't want you thinking about. I don't think they want us to talk about this type of stuff. Like, look at this, and look at the steps over here. These right here. Look at let me see if I can point to them. Those right there. Look at the center of it. So it's not that just something poured on the steps and it melted the steps down. You can see they're bowled up and they're bubbling, almost like they were melted at such a high temperature. They bubbled up and like fell over each other. Like, it's insanity to me. What actually could melt the steps? And then what's fascinating is the walls are sandstone. And so the melting temperature for sandstone is significantly less. It's not as dense as granite. And so Nora said, a really hot person. Nora, I was on the theory. I was talking to somebody yesterday. Sister I have to bring on, we're gonna have to do a talk later. And she was talking about ascension. And I was thinking about this, like all the ancient, a lot of them talked about ascension. A lot of the religions talk, what if we ascend? What if we can? What if we can become those light being things? What if somebody was on the bottom steps, the bottom 2 flights of steps down, and they finally figured it out and they got the juice and put it on their head or something and did some meditation? I don't know. There's a lot of ways to ascend. Y'all know that. And they turned to a light being and they floated up this flight of steps right up the center. And they floated up the other flight of steps and they were just red hot and then floated right out the window. I don't know. They talk about the theories of why the windows are in these ancient stone temples. I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to throw this out there for the people like, that don't make no sense. That ain't possible. There ain't no scientific evidence. Y'all ever hear about people who self-combusted? I was thinking about that. Think about this. It is a fact It is a fact that people have self-combusted. It is a fact that we are electricity. It is a fact that we can create heat beyond understanding. Watch, there's a show called Stan Lee's Superhumans, where they talked about people who had abilities to do things that we don't understand and science can't explain. There was a brother, they put him in ice water. And it was ice water. The temperature was so cold that after, I think, a few minutes, hypothermia would set in, the average human, and they would die. He sat in the ice tub, I think it was for at least an hour, maybe longer. Somebody got a link, post a link, or I'll post it later. And his body temperature actually went up. He went up from 90, I was like 98.6, and his body temperature was getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And then think about the people who self-combusted. What if all of that is just like a deep form of meditation that just taps into something, and actually you get the ability to control your cells? Because that's another thing. We know you can control your cells. The whole mind over matter thing that everybody talked about, Christ talked about it, the Tibetans, where you could actually thought can control energy and matter. Think about the placebo, nocebo effects, right? So we know these things are scientific. And to me, it's a jump, but it's not a illogical jump. It actually is a logical jump that some people can tap into those things. Think about what Christ says. He said, greater things that I have done, you will do. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think we're humans. I don't know, but I don't think we are. I think human beings are just cattle. And we're these spiritual things that get put in these human cattle things, these temples. And we still maintain the ability to tap into whatever we are as energy, or whatever the heck we are, spiritual, whatever we are before then. So I don't know. A lot of theoretical stuff. I don't know. It's interesting. Somebody said lava. You know, I was thinking about that. What if lava shot through the window? What if there were a volcano outside, right? And lava shot through the window. I was thinking it's a far shot that lava only landed in the center of the steps, but then it's 2 flights of steps. So it's not only going down 1 flight of steps. The lava would have to hit the wall, ricochet, not melt the wall, and then land down the center of the 2nd flight of steps. That's why but this is the stuff that we got to think about, y'all, and we got to talk about it. That's why I appreciate y'all liking and subscribing and sharing, wherever you are, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, because these are the critical questions. It's not that anybody knows, because I don't know. I have no damn idea. The only thing I know is the colonizers are lying to us. The central managed governments of every country everywhere are always trying to hide it. Except for the one dude. What was that brother? What was the brother in South America? The one who, we talked about this a couple months ago, actually. He was the president of I don't want to say it. It was Angola or something. I'll post a link. But he went to the what was his gosh. I'm getting old. I don't remember stuff. But he went to the UN and he said aliens are real. We found them in my country. We found a body that floated up on the coast. Y'all need to investigate what's going on. He was a buddy of the United States, and fine, because the United States put him in power. And right after he did that, when he went to the UN, he presented the evidence. Actually, it was a couple whistleblowers from the United States went with him to the UN and said, aliens are real. We all know about it and we lying. And then there was enough evidence and they voted on it. And most countries, the leaders of most countries thought it was so plausible. They said, yep, we need to have I guess they do resolutions. I have to go back in history and look at the data. I'll post a link. But you can find it. It's still on the UN's website. That they were going to have a vote on it. But while he was there making the case, his country, it fell apart. He was a bad dude. He actually wasn't a good dude. But there was a revolt and they threw him out of power. I forgot his name. Somebody has to post his name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But then they threw him apart because anyway, the whole point is they're all lying. The vast majority of centralized colonizing governments, they're all lying. Because the way I define it, colonizers, they're just governments that take away that your ability to self-determine. That's why I think our way out of this. I'm not doing politics. I don't do politics on the weekend. Actually, I don't do politics during the week either. That's human rights. But um, I think that our way out of this is we change how we think, y'all. We need to start thinking from a self-determination perspective that I have no rights over you. I have no rights over what you do in your life. As long as it's peaceful, there shouldn't be any law that tells you how to live. I believe that if we are these spiritual things, we're injected in these human being things in the wombs of other human beings. I think kids are probably the closest thing to what we really are. And I think they come here and they're this neutral palette, and we can either teach them love and working together and building up things together, working as a collective, or we can teach them to compete against one another, take what others have, that life is real bad. And I think we indoctrinate them to become really, really, I think we give them our hate. That's what I think. I think we give them our indoctrination instead of letting them become whatever these spiritual creatures are and whatever they become. Um, so, how old is man? I think man is really, really old because there's enough evidence to explain that. Like we got into a discussion on the thread earlier today. We were talking about the Perry Reese map, and Brother Thor was there. He's always likes to debate. But, he said, well, it's one map and da 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 da. And we go back and forth. But if you actually look at it, it's not South America. Actually, do y'all see the picture? I show you the picture. I'm show the picture. It's not actually South America. So the Perry Reese map, it's one of those pieces of evidence and thousands of pieces of evidence that explain that mankind knew what Antarctica looked like under 2 miles of ice. So under 2 miles of ice, man drew maps of what Antarctica actually looked like, verified by the United States Air Force. So we know that there were maps of Antarctica going back, it was 1513. And Perry Reese, he admitted it. He wasn't like the standard people in the West. It's my map, man. I done found it. I done sailed around it. I wrote it all up myself. He didn't lie. He didn't do that. He said, I have no idea. He said, my source came from, was it 20 other maps that he found in a cache that came from Alexandria, or King Alexander's, not King Alexander, what is his name? Alexander, when he did his voyages. So he went and conquered all these lands, colonizer, grabbed up all these maps, and I guess this cache was bought, and he put together a map of the world, Perry Reese, of what it looked like, and Antarctica was there. And the last known time Antarctica did not have 2 miles of ice over it was 36 million years ago. So my question was on the thread this morning, who drew the original maps? And how did they know what was under 2 miles of ice if it weren't human beings? Those are my questions. And then they attacked the Perry Reese map. Why? Because the colonizers don't want you looking at ancient maps. Part of the reason why, I was actually talking to Brother Chris this morning about it, is maps were worth more than gold. Going back in ancient times, like, that saying, how they say, information is only powerful if it's secret, right? If you have a secret, if that information has no power unless only you know it. And that's what gives information power. That's why I say there can't be any secrets in government anymore. And so maps, this is what the kings, the colonizers, the central managed governments always held dear. These things were more valuable than chests of gold, because if they knew where the gold was, if they knew where the kingdoms were, they knew where to drive the boats, they knew where all of that stuff was, then that made the map price more, which is why they wouldn't let you see the maps. When they go out sailing, the only one who ever saw the map was the navigator and the captains. They did not share the maps with us because the maps were worth more than gold. And this is one reason why also, like, not just from we know where the gold is, or the Incas or the Mayans that we can rob and take all their gold, or the mines in Africa, whatever, but also because the people who drew the maps knew how important they were to the future generations. And so the maps that they put together from the Perry Reese maps were highly important, but it didn't stop at Perry Reese. But that's why the colonizers tried to debunk Perry Reese, and they never did. There were at least, I think I posted it. It's on the thread this morning. I posted it. There was a good little YouTube talk about, I think, the 6 other maps that explained that we actually knew what the world looked like millions of years ago. And if something didn't tell us, took Enoch up in a spaceship or something, I don't know, humans in the future, quantum physicists who figured out how to go back in time and show Enoch and whatever, I don't know. Interesting stuff. It boggles my mind. Let me see what y'all are talking about. I'm off talking. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Yeah, Nora, I'm with you. I think we are. I don't know why. I'm curious. I'd love to know why. But I think if we lock ourselves into like centralizing in one religion or just spirituality or just archaeology, we miss all the pieces. I think we got to look at all this stuff and try to figure out, why are we here? What are we supposed to learn? Are we all like sitting up in a spaceship somewhere like, oh, it's my turn. I want to go to Earth. I want to go to Earth. I have a friend who talks about that we actually pick and choose what we want to do. I want to be a serial killer. I want to go down. I want to be a serial killer. I want to be a king. I want to be a poor person. I want to know what that experience is like, because we learn, or we're like data collection spirits that actually learn about sociology and life. And we're just studying what life is like, that there really is no good and bad, that, you know, we're all just living out this computer simulation, this understanding, this evolving of how we think as spiritual creatures. I don't know. It's curious. I'm very curious, but I know this: we failed the test, y'all. We failing. We're failing. I'm sorry, we're failing. Whatever the test, we failing, because everybody who went down and they landed in Yemen, and their kids that are starving over there, 20 million people starving, we failed in the test. Whatever that test is, we failed. That asteroid is on its way. They're about to wipe us the hell out. We're gonna start over on another planet. So we need to learn. We need to level up, y'all. Alice, y'all got friends. We all got friends and family that are still Alice. Listen, we done fell down the hole. Everyone knows fear incites compliance. Everyone knows fear incites compliance. It does, which is why they always scare us. Which, ooh, Nora, you hit on something. Welcome to the conversation, Nora. Good girl, you putting a lot of stuff out this morning. Fear does incite compliance because we're always scared of power. Which is why if the government is all powerful and we're scared of it, we will comply. Why you won't ever get me on gun control, people. You'll never get, no, that's wrong. Because I don't believe in guns. I don't believe in violence, but you will get me on gun control when the kings, when the central managed government, when the colonizers, when they give up their violence and their guns that put fear in everybody, their tanks and their bombs and all of that stuff, then you might get me along the ideas of the poor giving up that. But until then, we don't need compliant poor. We need poor who say, nope, I want to know why the steps are melted. That's what we need. We need poor that always question the steps. Question the steps, y'all. So let me jump around here. I'm gonna go to the avatar. No, where I'm gonna go. So now I'm gonna keep this back. I kind of like the melt the steps, kind of sexy, man. But if you look at it, like this is what I think we need to focus on. I think that the wall, somebody said that lava would melt the walls, and it would, but I think that the hieroglyphics weren't there. You know, we talk about how the Egyptians and everyone else, they said that this stuff was here when we got here. We put our graffiti on it. I think that maybe those steps were there. They were part of another temple that got knocked down or something, and they built it up, and then they put their hieroglyphics on it. But I don't know. It's an interesting question. But we are millions of years older, and so we know in our timeline that we actually had no ability to create fire, which is like 1,500 degrees. I think I posted a long time ago. Create a fire that could melt sandstone, or that could melt granite. We couldn't do that. When I say we, going back to our accepted timeline, the modern archaeology, modern man, we know we couldn't do it. Something else could do it, you know. But I was kind of thinking it might be a spirituality thing. If we know mind over matter is a thing, maybe they built the pyramids by floating stones. You know, I got a friend. I have a friend who went to India and said that there were people who actually could levitate. He said they could do it. just sitting on the side of the street, just levitating in these little towns. And I don't know how true that is, but we know telekinesis is a thing. We know that's a thing scientifically. There were people who could do these things. So if you got somebody who could actually bend the spoon, could you have somebody that could actually float and levitate a rock? Like think about the megaliths. Let me look at the megaliths. Where the megaliths? Like some of the largest megaliths, like, where my megaliths at, man? Somebody move my megaliths. Megalith. How you spell megalith? I got all these pictures. That's why I go through this stuff. I research it. Where's like one of the biggest megaliths? Like this dude right here. Look at this dude. Look at this. Massive. Oh, you can't see the human being, so you don't. Oh no, you can see him. It's like 70 feet long. Some of the massive megaliths that they just never moved. Ignorant weights that we just can't figure out, and people say, oh, well, they took together pulleys and rope. Damn it, then pulleys and rope. I'm not a pulleys and rope guy. I'm not. But these massive megaliths that they actually moved, and I kind of think maybe it wasn't technology. Maybe it was a spiritual thing. Like maybe they actually had the ability to, it's on the side of my face. Maybe they had the ability to actually do that mind over matter meditation thing and be able to pick up massive rocks and move them. You know, like Easter Island, they talk about, oh, they walk the statues. I don't know how true that is. Like, I think we always try to explain things from a technological perspective that makes sense to us at that time. The problem is our technology always moves ahead. And so the idea that they move these massive stones, like what the Romans, the biggest stone they could move was 5 tons. And they say, well, they could have multiples together. I know, but that's not going to move a stone that's 1,500 tons. And so, all right, let me keep going. Brother Chris said aliens don't exist. I can't tell you if they do or not, Chris. The only thing I can tell you, let me go back here. The only thing I can tell you, it's a lot out there. That's what I know. Do I know aliens exist? I don't know they exist. All I know is it's a lot out there, right? You need Hubble. So the modern, what they talk about, sound like a broken record, but there are more Earth-like planets in the Milky Way galaxy alone than grains of sand on all the beaches all over the Earth. So even if you are a big banger, life is just dumb, random hoper, that in our brain, like that we are the only great thing in the universe, even if we are those people, the folks who believe that, it's a mathematical impossibility that only life was created on the planet Earth. What does that mean? That means that there is aliens out there. Now, are they microbiology? Are they flying around in ships? I don't know. I got my theories. My theories are not that I'm the only game in town. My theories are not that I'm alone. I think mankind is alone only in man's little head. I think that the colonizers always want to show us that we're alone. They always want us to fear them. Like Nora was saying, they always want us to feel like they're the all-powerful. But I know what you're saying, Chris. I'm not hating on you because I know where you're going. Is that aliens are a psyop. And I agree with you, though, because there are whistleblowers who came forward that had stories that did not agree with what the majority of other whistleblowers were talking about. And I think because they are trying to co-opt the whole alien thing, I think that they are trying to, I think that they have technology they don't want to share with us. And I think if we saw it, we would think that they were aliens. So I think that they are trying to step in that shoe. I think they probably got the electromagnetic chips, and I think they fly around. And I think they'll use that, how Nora was saying, to like invoke fear in us at some time. I don't know that they have it now. I think they do, but I think at some time in the future, it would make sense, because if you have that, if you have a catapult, you can evoke a lot of fear in people. If you have, Greek fire, you can invoke a lot of fear in people. If you have things that they've never seen before, you can take over these foreign tribes and they'll be scared of you and they'll do what you say or you'll kill them. So I do believe that, hold on, let me delete some of this. I personally, I don't think we're the only game in town. I don't. It's partially how I grew up and some of the things I heard about and saw I wasn't supposed to see. I don't think we're the only game in town. Um, but I do kind of listen to what a lot of the whistleblowers say when they say there were multiple species of aliens. Some are benevolent, some are malevolent. I find it interesting. Like one thing I don't like to do, brother Chris, I don't like to tell people. I look at some other comments. I'm addressing Chris. Let me talk to Chris for a minute. I don't like to tell other people they're wrong unless I know they're wrong, right? So I'm okay with all theories. If anybody wants to tell me about mermaids, man, I'm gonna get my cup of coffee. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna drink because the ocean's a big place. I never swam out in all the ocean. I'm not gonna tell people. I'm not gonna use my indoctrination to tell other people what's real or not. That's me. I will agree with a flat earther before I will agree with a colonizer, right? Because I don't know that the flat earthers want to lie to me, or the mermaiders, or the Bigfooters, or the alien, or Loch Nessers. But the colonizers, they always lie. That's all they do because their power is based in keeping information from us. So I'm good with that. I will never side against the poor. If you're poor, if you don't have $1 billion in the bank, I'm okay with your theory and I'll listen to it. Um, so all right, so I mean that's my thought on the whole alien thing. I listen to the whistleblowers. I listen to them and just I'm not sure what I believe. I think some of them maybe saw some gas and what is it, swamp gas? Some of them. But when you got thousands of people who are coming forward who are all poor too. Oh, what about the cavemen? Let me do a search. Aliens in caveman art, right? Because didn't they find in like the caves in France and other people where the cavemen actually drew all of these things that look like the typical stereotypical alien gray? Y'all give me an alien conversation. That's not where I was going with this. Kristen dragged me down there. So all right, let me go. But but so all over. So it's not just modern whistleblowers who might be doing psyops for the deep state colonizing government, but it's going back in time. And I think that's the foundation of most religions is they saw things they couldn't understand and it just became alien or God. Like I think that all that stuff is real. Um, can you imagine the masses tapping into the spiritual magic power? Sandra, I can. I can. I think if we actually tapped into, I mean, the ability to understand what we really are, to understand that the history of life on this planet isn't what we think it is. If we have the ability to do what Christ said that we all can do greater things than it did, and it walked on water. And I call it. Don't be offended if you're a Christian. I'm a Christian too, but not a typical one. I don't prescribe to what the pastors say and the ministers and the Pope. I prescribe to what I think is true. And I think science and religion are the same thing. And if we actually trust in, our intellectual minds and what we're discovering, and we link that with archaeology, that we actually, like, I think science and religion, in my perspective, they're the search for the truth. And I don't think you'll ever find the truth if you get locked into King James. I think King James doesn't want you to know the truth. Why? King James was a colonizer. He deleted a whole lot of books that your ancients wrote, your prophets. But Sandra, I agree with you. I think if we actually understood what we are and what the ancients always saw and what the cavemen wrote on the caves, I think that we do have just the ability to do things we don't understand. That's why I like the show. Watch the show. It's called Stan Lee Superhumans. But just it was a scientific approach to understanding human beings that could do things that seem to be X-Men, superhero related. Like the guy who could run. There's a guy that his body makes a certain type of acid, or it doesn't make a certain type of acid, and he can run indefinitely without stopping. And he's like, whoa, that's powerful. How can he do that? Like he can run for days. He can do the Forrest Gump. Do the Forrest Gump. But that's not that crazy because if you think about the Aztecs, or I think it was the Incans, I forgot who it was, or the Mayans, somebody correct me, who could run for like 100 miles. Like they were the king's runners and they would run and hand off the note to the next one. They hand off the note to the next one. And they're saying that That's how they got notes, and the king, was able to have such a large empire in South America, and maybe those runners were tapped into something that this guy's tapped into. So much we don't understand. Um, that's why I always to go back to the colonizer. If the colonizers say it, I'm not going to agree with it. But if poor people say it, I am going to agree. Yes, nor we're babies. I don't think we know anything. And I think that we get lost in our own arrogance. We get lost in our own indoctrination, and then we try to force it on other people. And that keeps us ignorant as a larger collective around the world. We have to delete our indoctrination. We have to understand that all of us come from great people, great cultures that we've completely forgotten about, because we're not just a species with amnesia, but we're a species with a deleted amnesia. We have artificial amnesia because the colonizers that write all the history books, they control all the schools, they teach everybody aliens aren't real, that you're just little dumb monkeys, and our governments are the greatest powers that ever existed. They teach everybody that, and I think we need to shatter that. It's an uncomfortable thing. It is an uncomfortable thing, but I think we have to do that, and that will get us back to evolving. We stopped evolving, you guys. We did. We stopped evolving because we started trusting the colonizers more than our neighbors, and we got to go back to trusting our neighbors and definitely the ancients. Elevate, don't hate. Yes, Sandra, we got to elevate. We got to elevate. We need to raise the vibrational level of the planet. We do. Whatever you think that is, you got to be positive. You got to have empathy and kindness and look out for each other, and stop telling each other what to do. Stop telling each other what is a fact that you don't know is a fact, and just be open to different theories. Lynn said, I don't argue. Right, don't argue. It's pointless. People want to argue with me all the time, Lynn. It's the funniest thing. They get to go, oh, but you're wrong. Da, 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 da. I never said I was right. I can't be wrong if I never said I was right. I just say I think. I think you try to fight what I think all day long. You just go running in a circle, you go a little hamster just running. All you're doing, you're fighting your own indoctrination. You're not fighting me. I have no fight for you. I don't know anything. I tell everybody that. I'm trying to figure things out. Lynn, you love old maps. I do too. And the maps were written for us. You don't write them. Our ancients didn't make these maps because they wanted us to be ignorant. They made these maps because they actually wanted us to know something. They didn't draw on the caves because they were bored. They drew on the caves because they were trying to tell us something. I think they were trying to tell us things that they saw that they wanted the future to remember. So anyway, looks like a heart, just like Africa and South America. Yeah, somebody said that, how the continent kind of is shaped like a heart. Alexander the Great. All right, I'm lost. Hold on, I got to go down in the comments. I'm back in comments. We are still in the dark ages. Catherine, girl, I think we are beyond the dark ages. What's darker than dark? Spade? Negative blackness? I don't know. That's surprised some racism and indoctrination that they gave me. But we are beyond the dark. I think in the dark ages, there were more tribal people that shared knowledge than there are people today. At least back then, there were different types of cultures that actually shared information in the dark ages. And I think they were more evolved than we are today. I think when the colonizers deleted all of those cultures, and we all started thinking along the same indoctrinated, central governing colonizer mindset, we descended into the darkest time humanity has ever been in. I think we are in the darkest day we've ever been in because we don't have differencing in opinions. We don't have a more republic, collective type of thinking. We have central thinking. Our governments do all our thinking for us, and that's why we say mermaids aren't real. Mermaids aren't real, y'all, because I've never seen one, so it's impossible. Dragons can't be real because I trust my television. Where does that get its information from? I trust my history book. Where does that get its information from? I trust what other people think in my society, and we all have a collective understanding of what's true. Where do they get their information from? We all get them from these colonizers who want to keep us fearful and keep us detached from things in our ancient past that might have been greater than us. So I love it. I love the cave paintings. I go down and I look at these all day long, but I don't think they were bored. These people were trying to live, and they drew things on the walls that they just didn't understand. So we're definitely deeper than the dark ages. Let me try to move down a little bit. Maps are amazing. Yes, they are. Knowledge is power. Yes, nor knowledge is everything. I guess I'm not seeing everybody's comments. I'm seeing a lot of comments from the same people, but that's what they do. Their software isn't working well, but that's why I got the comments on the screen. So y'all can see the So I actually, this is how I'm cheating. I can see the comments on the screen and I can see the device in front of me. And that's how I know that I'm not seeing everybody's comments. I know y'all need to fix your software. Y'all need to stop censoring people. Knowledge is power. We all on the same team, Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg and Google and whoever owns it, we all on the same team. Because, you know, if this planet falls apart and we lose all of this and the power goes out and World War III starts because the 99% across the world say, no, we're not going to do this no more. We're not going to do ignorant colonizing, run the world corporation thing no more. You're not going to have a social media platform because we all going to be dead. The power is not going to be out. We're all going to go back to living in caves like this. And y'all going to be drawn on the wall. Damn it. Let's start human race all over again. You know, so y'all fix your software, man. Stop censoring people. Janie said they're definitely aliens. I got you, sister. Your soul knows all that it has experienced over many lifetimes. Teresa, I believe that. I believe that. And this gets back to deja vu. I think that when you have deja vu, that possibly it's a little hiccup. You're remembering something that you did before. And it's a proven fact, Teresa, right? It's a proven fact that they took people in houses that they said they grew up in, that they've never been in their lives, or countries that they've never been to. And they said the bedroom's over here, the kitchen's over there, that's over there. So we're getting, when we go to sleep, we tap into other things. Edgar Casey, they prove, I mean, he nailed what, 90-some% of everything he said, you know? So I think we do have the ability to tap into those things, and maybe meditation is the way. You know, the ancients all talked about meditation and yoga and vibration and sound and energy. And I think we all need to spend a little more time in those things. Gavin Means book 1421, the year China discovered the world. Yes, Lola Mar. Oh, that was a good one. You're talking about the treasure junks, right? Yeah, going back. And the funny thing, and that's a good example, Lola Mar, of history being deleted, because if y'all aren't familiar with the in 1421, in China, the emperor created these what he called treasure junks. Massive ships, almost as big as aircraft carriers, bigger than any of the clipper ships, sailed around the world, traded with people. You know, they found evidence of them in they found the Lola Mar helped me. They found the Chinese tapestries, right, in South America. They know they've been around the world. They did the DNA test on people who are indigenous to South America, and they found people with genetics going back to ancient China, right? So we know that it was a real story. But what happened? The treasure junks got home. Tell them, Lola Mar, the treasure junks got home. The next emperor came in and said, oh no, the previous emperor is no greater than I am. Burned all the ships, all the history that they discovered, they collected from around the world, all the cultures and the understanding and the power and spirituality, all the stuff that they found out, deleted it all, shoved it all down into a fire and burned it all up. Book burning, right? Same thing. You can say it's different. It's not. Colonizers were all the same, whether it was England or Shaka Zulu in Africa or the Native Americans. Everybody had that 0.01% controlling centralized government that deleted history. So we don't know what came before, because the new emperor wants to be the most powerful. The Egyptians did it. The new king would take over, and what he would destroy the previous hieroglyphs. He would just wipe away the faces from the architecture because he wanted to be the all new powerful. His I was about to say something, but I'm not gonna say it. You know, but it's that zipper contest. You know, mine is bigger. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. You know, my daddy wasn't no better than me, and just delete the history. Always doing that. That's why we always got to look back at history of what's left or what they didn't delete. Brother Harley said aliens don't exist, but Jesus do. Okay, Chris. Well, you know what? Right. Oh, all right, Harley. Yeah, Harley's pulling it out. We were talking about that the other day. Which is, you know, the question I like to ask. I run into ministers here and there, and I tell them, so, you know, I said, I'm a Christian too. I'm an alien theorist too. And they look at me like I'm crazy. You know, I say, well, you know, there's terrestrials and extraterrestrials, right? They say, yeah, but ain't no extraterrestrials. I say, okay, well, what was Jesus? Was he from Earth? I'm from Earth. I'm a terrestrial. I think I am. If Jesus wasn't from Earth, if he was the Son of God and all that stuff, what was the Holy Ghost? What was God? You know, if they're actually not from Earth, Christianity is the actual same understanding that modern science is coming to. That we are not the only game in town. It's a mathematical impossibility. If Christ is not a terrestrial, Christ is an extraterrestrial. And that's where Brother Harley's going with that. Y'all are too smart. I love y'all to death, man. Yes, Abraham's lessons. Yes, Catherine. All right, let me go down. I'm kind of high up in the comments. I'm sorry, I'm way up. Man, y'all talking. Y'all got some. And I go back and read the comments later. I can't see all of them, but how do we know that the 1% didn't tamper with the cave drawings? We don't know, Grace. Don't know. We don't know anything. And I think that's our greatest standing as a people, is admitting we just don't know. And that's the fun thing about never arguing with people, is if you actually never say you know anything, you don't have to argue with anybody. We don't know. The 1% could have went in there, you know, licked his hand, started wiping the face off the cave draw. No, that's not real. That's not real. You know, and meanwhile, the daggone our poor ancestors tried to do everything they could to show us everything that they knew, and they in there breaking things up. So they could have, you know, we don't know. But we look back, I think, I look at it like how I look at the whistleblowers for the UFOs. I think about it like this. Look at corroborating stories. If you have multiple if you have the same story being told on multiple continents by different groups of people who didn't interact, and they're saying the same thing, that's highly plausible. So if you've got cave drawings all over the world that tell a different story than what the colonizers say, that to me is saying something. If you've got all these different whistleblowers for UFOs and aliens, and they're on every continent that work for most of the big governments that are spacefaring, and they're all saying the same thing, they're saying very similar things, then that's how you stitch together a more plausible understanding. But I think that's how you get past that. I think that's how you get past the colonizers' story of, you know, they're the greatest thing in the universe. And also you gotta look at things that don't make sense. Like look at this picture right here. You gotta look at stuff like this, like, oh, come on, man. That ain't no cave drawing. I drew something like that back when I was a kid. But you know what? It could be a cave drawing. It might be. I don't know. I'm not sure. But it don't look like one. I don't think, because I had an Etch-a-Sketch. Y'all ever have an Etch-a-Sketch? You know, in the Etch-a-Sketch, you can't do a straight line. That's a straight line, man. Somebody drew that. So I think you have to approach everything with skepticism. But you also have to look back and just think, you know, our ancients, they weren't idiots, right? They have the same brain we have in our head, right? They have the same ability to question like we do, you know. And I look at something like this, I don't see a tribe going up to meet a small person. I see a tribe that's walking up to meet a giant. I see a tribe that's walking up to meet something much greater than themselves, whatever that thing may be. Dang, you know what that kind of looked like? Y'all remember War of the Worlds, the tripods? I don't know, you know. But anyway, let me see what else y'all saying. And research, yeah, Lynn, it's just research. And I think you do that corroborating stuff and try to figure it out. The Columbus ships were only the size of the rubber on the Chinese treasure ships. Yeah, right. And that's the thing. Is that so in the ancient Chinese, they knew how to build those ships. Massive. You know, you don't just wake up one day and say, you know what? I think I'm gonna make some treasure junks. I'm gonna make them 1,000 feet. Let me see if I can find some pictures of the treasure junks. Because Lola Mar, you onto something there. I always appreciate your information. What do they call the treasure junks? It was what was that? 1492, 1419. I don't know like that. I'm gonna do Chinese treasure junks. I like pictures. Pictures help tell the story better. And I think it's actually spelled that way. Treasure, J-U-N-K, like junk. Like all that asteroid junk that y'all buy, the asteroid dust, you keep buying the colonizers crap, making them more powerful. Our overlords getting stronger and stronger because we keep buying their crap. Like always get asked, well, how do we get out of the way? How do we get out of here? You don't have no solutions. You don't have no solutions. Stop buying their junk. But these are pictures of the treasure junk. I think this is one right here, Lola Mar. You can correct me if I'm wrong. This is one of the treasure junks. You know, and there's the colonial ship. Look at that little colonial ship. Isn't that cute? Oh, let me move my big head. Hold on. I got this big old head. I don't even know where I got this big head from. It ain't come from my mom. It must came from my daddy. I think it came from my daddy's side. They got big heads over there. The Hayes, they got big heads. But yeah, I mean, the size of it was just immense. And you don't just wake up one day and think, oh, I'm gonna make a treasure junk. No, that's lots of handed down ability and understanding and how to make a ship and how to make it waterproof. I mean, that daggone thing 400 feet long, or is that 400 yards? I don't know. Lolamar, I tell you. But yeah, I looked at that. I looked at it a long time ago. Interesting stuff. Janie said, we live in a 3D world and are in a quantum reality. We are shifting to 5D. Quantum physicists know there are at least 11 dimensions. Our DNA is being upgraded so we can live in the 5th dimension. Janie, that's some deep stuff, girl. That's deep. And I don't deny any of it. I'm concerned. I'll say this. I am concerned that only a few of us are actually tapped into that. That's my fear. My fear is that only a few people are looking at that. The quantum physicists, they work for the colonizers and the 1% government. That's really my fears. Those are the ones who control that. And if we are actually evolving and going in that direction, or even if the planet is going into a different section of the universe and physics works differently or whatever, and we don't know what we're doing because we're too busy buying asteroid dust and we're silly, we in a whole lot of trouble. How do we know which sources are trustworthy when doing research? Grace, we don't. I don't anyway. Maybe somebody else has a better answer. What I do is I just look at everything. I look at everything. And mermaids being the example of the day. Mermaids. If sailors from all over the world on multiple continents all say that they saw mermaids, no, I wouldn't do mermaids. We'll do a better one. They all say they saw giant squid, giant octopus, massive sea creatures, leviathans. If they all said they saw that, corroborate all that evidence together, and it'll actually stitch together, I think, a picture of what's true. Like, I used to follow the alien thing a long time ago. I used to love it, but if you listen to a lot of it, after a while, you'll hear people saying the same thing or something similar. And you hear other people saying things that are way off the mark, that aren't even close to what the others are saying. And after a while, you start to get together like a picture in your head, a matrix of, I heard this 100 times. I've only heard that once. Like, there was a guy, I forgot his name. One time I was listening to the alien stuff, and there was a guy he said he was abducted by aliens. Somebody post his name if y'all heard this one. But he was a boxer. And so he was fighting in the alien boxing circuit all over the universe. I'm not going to say he's lying. I ain't going to say that. That's not my style. But he was boxing in the alien boxing league all over the universe. And then he came back to Earth. And I'm just, so if I only heard that story once, like, why would aliens want you boxing in their league? How would aliens even know what boxing is? That sounds like some human stuff why would the UBU, the Universal Boxing, I don't know. So I hear that, I'm just like, okay, could be true, but I'm not gonna step out on that one and say I think that doesn't make sense. So anyway, that's how I do it. I'll look at multiple research and that they're all saying it, then it makes sense. And that's the power of not being under colonization indoctrination. Right? When everybody has their own thoughts, when everyone does their own studies, and you have multiple people all over the world and multiple people in your country saying the same thing who studied in different ways or have different backgrounds, then you start to come to a realization of plausibility, right? But if everybody's indoctrinated in the same schools teaching the same thing, then we're all really, really dumb. So that's my thought on research. Somebody else can have something better to say, but that's my thought. I like to look at multiple sources. I don't like to piss people off, because when you piss people off, then they don't tell you what they know. So I try to get along with everybody best I can. I think that's our way out of this. Believe in Jesus, but not aliens. Yeah, Sandra, that's a little suspect to me. That's a little, I sniffed that finger, saying like, that smell that smell a little bit like colonizer booty. I don't know. Where your fingers been? I don't know. Jesus is real, but nothing else is real. But Jesus told you about aliens and demons and there were things on this planet long before us, and God killed the earth by flood, and he said, this is the last time I'm gonna do it. That means he did it before. That means there was other creatures he had liked in the film of giants. They wanted to delete the DNA of them too. So I do the smell test. I smell booty on that. That's no, that don't sound you. Where your fingers been? You got that from the colonizers, didn't you? You got it. Nah, I don't believe that. Mankind, womankind too, humankind. We are millions of years old. I think. So I try to be, yeah, Lynn, I said I'm patient. I try to be patient. I don't think when you're in a rush, you find anything good. I don't think you discover anything good. You know, I think you got to be patient. Teresa said, believe in yourself. Yes, you got to believe in yourself. Janie talking about Tesla. Yeah, Tesla is something else. The fact that they're still hiding his information, we still don't get to know what he knew. That tells you everything you know. The colonizers still don't want you knowing who Tesla is, and they don't want you talking about Tesla. That should really tell you that that brother was on to something. He was a phenomenal person. No, not that Tesla. I did the wrong search. That's no, we talking about Nikola Tesla. Damn it. I like me some pictures. Let me see. Believe in yourself, Tesla. So many of our scholars have been co-opted. Yeah, and that's the whole psyops thing, right, Sandra? That's why you don't never know who you can trust. You never know. A lot of them are co-opted. They put them in. Brother Mark is in the house. How the chickens doing, brother? I think Tesla would be with us. Tesla was with us, Sandra. You know, Tesla, he was the one who wanted to give free energy to the world. He vibrated on that collective mindset, right? He wanted to give away free energy. It was JP Morgan who said, oh, hell no, you ain't going to, you know? So that's what I'm thinking. I'ma say it, he's a bad liar. Oh, isn't that right, Amy? I already know who you talking about. I think you're talking about a colonizer, because that's all they do. They just lie all day long. They just lie to us. Use your intuition to know what's true. Ask your heart and listen to the answer. Yeah, Teresa, be in tap with who you are. Ask yourself. And I think, Teresa, I think that goes back to prayer. I think that goes back to meditation, getting to actually know who you are. Like I had a grandfather, and he'd tell you, you know, he didn't trust the doctors. He never, oh, I don't believe no doctor nonsense because I know my body. I know how I feel. And that's why I tell people with health too, listen to your doctor. I'm never going to say don't go to the doctor. Listen to your doctor, but trust your intuition and trust yourself, like your gut. Brother Chris was talking about that last night. Chris was talking about that. Go with your gut. Trust your gut. Because, oh, the brother that was on Brother Chris show was talking about it. That your gut is that you have multiple brains, right? And people are like, oh, Lord, where are you going with this? He always offer some theory. No, hear me out. You have multiple brains. I mean, now we know that the microbiology in your body not only drive your immune system, science knows they actually drive your brain too. Like we know the relationship between your gut microbes and your brain, which is part of why, you know, and all that GMO and all that pesticide food killing off your flora and your fauna, all the gluten food, it messes with you. It messes with the microbiology's ability to communicate with your brain. But oh man, I lost my train of thought. But listen to your gut. And that's what they're saying. That's where the saying comes from. Listen to your gut. Right? Who would even say that? Like, how do you, like, you're in tap with something when you say something like that, that eventually thousands of years later, science actually proves is true. You know, that your gut, it's like this, it's like the gag reflex. I love science, y'all. Y'all need to trust your science, not the corporation scientists, not the colonizers science, not all, because that's all the lies. Somebody said that trust the science, she's lying long as the day is long. No, trust the real science. Don't trust the colonizer science. It's always a lie. It's always partial true. It's pseudoscience. But trust the science. Go with your gut. I was gonna say something. Oh, dang it, I lost my train of thought. The microbiology and the talk, and they keep them alive. Don't kill them with antibiotics. Don't kill them with bad food. The drivers for life. Well, one thing they're talking about microbiology and trust is the whole idea of, you know how when you touch something that's hot, and you notice when you touch something that's hot, like a hot stove, your finger comes back before you actually get burned. So when you actually touch something before you even know it's hot, your finger is out of the way. How is that possible? How is that possible if microbiology and perhaps the things that they do help drive human beings in our bodies? It's because when you were about to touch that thing, I remember what I was going to say, before you touch that hot thing, the microbiology in the tip of your hand actually already moved your hand before your brain had the thought that it's hot. There's a whole lot more going on than what we know. What I was going to say is gag reflex, gut instinct. If you out and you about to drink some rancid water walking around, if you smell a rotten egg, you know why a rotten egg smells bad to you, why it's rotten? It's because the microbiology that have a symbiotic relationship with your human cow thing, your cattle that were walking in your temple, it knows if you drink anaerobic water that you'll die. It knows that you'll kill a lot of it. And so your gut bacteria say, don't drink that. If you drink that, you're going to kill a whole bunch of us because they're aerobic. They're not anaerobic, and anaerobic water carries diseases. And so if you drink that, you'll get sick. You might die, but you're going to kill a lot of them. And that's a good understanding. That's what a gag reflex is. That's why when you smell something, when your husband, when he make that soup and he didn't use fresh eggs, or he, y'all, sometimes a wife too, not everybody can cook. They try to give you something and it's just nasty in your body. You feel the gag reflex. That's trusting your gut. Is because that microbiology has a relationship with us that we don't understand. Lynn said mother's intuition. That's another one. Like all this, the evidence we have that when their son gets in an accident or something, and the mother just has this feeling, and starts calling around, and come to find out he was in an accident. I mean, there were a whole bunch of stories like that. The mother's intuition, that we're all still related. Crystal said, yeah, your gut is your second brain. And they say there are multiple brains, but these are things that we don't understand, but people are indoctrinated to not believe these things. People are indoctrinated to deny everything that goes against what they've been brainwashed to believe. When you start talking about the pineal gland and things like that and how it can calcify. That's not true. I don't believe that. That's not true. How do you know? Because it's not true. How do you know? Because I didn't learn about it in school. I'm a philosopher. I went to school and I've got multiple degrees. Oh, yeah? Who taught your school? Who taught the professors? It's always the colonizers. Tesla, we don't talk about him either. No, Mark and brother Mark, they don't talk about him in school either. I didn't know who Tesla was. I had no damn idea. I went to school and we talked about Einstein and we talked about who was the thief? Who was the thief one? The one who stole all everything? Edison. He stole everything, and he got his apprentices to like figure everything out. They were the geniuses. He was the moron. I think it was Edison. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he actually didn't invent any damn thing. But he got credit for everything. And this is who schools tell you about. Who the colonizers tell you about. Why wouldn't they want you to focus on Tesla? I mean, I can guess, and I can say because Tesla wasn't in that colonizer mindset. Tesla, he was evolved. He kind of knew that the colonizers were always lying. He wanted to share. He wanted us to be a part of a collective, right? What was it? The Tesla Tower. He built it, and didn't he? After he died, they knocked that sucker down, boy. He built the tower, and anyway. So yeah, Tesla's a great one. We have more virus and bacteria in our cell than we do human cells. Oh, in our bodies, right? We have more, right? There's more, I forgot how many trillions of cells are in our body, but there are more non-human cells in our body than human cells. We aren't even human. We don't even know what the heck human is. What you're looking at most, like you look at me, you think you're looking at a human, you're not. You're looking mostly at a whole bunch of multicellular organisms all working together to make up this bald dude that's talking all this junk on on the internet, telling you that your colonizer always lying to you. We don't even know what human is. We aren't human. And the theory I heard, Crystal, I like the somebody once said that that we actually it's not that we are necessarily driven by all the microbiology, but that the microbiology just take up all the space, and health is actually just having various colonies of microbiology taking up the resources and space in your body so viruses can't take root. So when y'all drink that milk and you drink, and you take in all the toxins and you eat all that meat, that these viruses and bacteria can take root usually where they can't. Because when you're colonized by all these other microbiology, they're protecting the human cells that are a lot younger. They're not billions of years old like the microbiology, and they can't protect themselves, but the other cells can, all that microbiology. So, oh, great stuff. But we have to question, we have to look at those things. But yeah, I think this was a Tesla tower. I don't know if that was a fake picture. I mean, it was a real picture taken, but it's saying it's the Tesla tower. But Tesla wanted to give away free energy. The colony doesn't want you to give away free energy. Colonizers don't want that. Colonizers they want all the power. They want you to keep working. They want you to go to work. They want you to get a job. They want you to teach your kids to do it. And this is what we talk about Monday through Friday, which is that system. I was about to call something else. That system. It's not a system. It's a system because it's some shizzle. That system, they don't want you shutting it down. So they need you working. They need you fighting with your neighbor. They need you arguing with people. That's why I say don't do it. Anything they want you to do, don't do the exact opposite. Eric Blair is the birth name given to George Orwell. That's deep, brother Mark. I don't know nothing about that. You can teach me. Give me a link, brother. Send me something. I love to learn. Tesla discovered wireless electricity, right? Because he wanted to work as a collective. We're too powerful as a collective. When you stop fighting with people over race and dumb things that you don't actually know, we become a powerful collective, and they do not want that. Unity is the only thing that scares them. Because he was not a psychopath like them. Yes, Amy, totally agree. He wasn't a psychopath. He was in tap with that. I don't want to tell you what to do stuff. Whatever that is, I don't want to tell you what to do stuff is. He was in tap with that, sister. He understood, and it took me a while, yo. I'm old. It took me a while to get in tap with that. But I was a manager. I had a big team. I was a father. I had kids. I was all of these things. I used to have positions in the church telling people what to do. I'm just at an age, man, I don't want to tell nobody what to do. Like, why? Why do I want to? If I tell you what to do, then you're stupid. You are. Why would you do what I tell you? You should do what your body tells you. You should do what your brain tells you. The idea that I want to tell you what to do, that's like a psychopath thing, just like in that own thought alone, Amy, like the whole wanting to control another free creature, another spiritual creature. That's a psychopath. There's just something wrong with that. Let's get together and tell our neighbor he's got to give up his guns. That's psychopathic. That's crazy. I know I slipped the gun control thing in there, but that's what it is. If that person is peaceful, leave them alone. But the colonizers always get us in these groups to go get the torch. Let me do this. That colonizer always gets us in a group to get a torch. To get together because somebody done did something. They done found somebody making potions. Always finding somebody making potions. Here you go, right here. They always want you to get a witch. They always want to get y'all together in a mob. Let's go get the guns, because that's gun control, isn't it? I would get in trouble. I'm talking about gun control now. But to me, it's all related. It's all the colonizers' mindset. They want to get people together because they're hurting children. They're doing something bad. Let's go get them. They get together because what was the witch? The witch had a gun. The witch was tied in tune with some black magic. The witch, it had powers over the colonizers. Oh, the witch had the ability to make a potion and do something to somebody. In tap with spirituality, Wicca, something. Oh, let's go get them. That's gun control, y'all. It's the colonizers trying to take power from the poor people. Oh man, Amy, you just nailed it. I don't know how you sent me down that path, sister. Oh, gonna get me in trouble going down the gun control route. Get the mob together. Let's go burn some witches, y'all. We gotta get the witches, boys. Boys, get the truck. We gotta go get some witches. Listen, and that's my stance on everything. Leave poor people alone. Leave peaceful people alone, y'all. Stop burning witches. That's just the colonizers' control. That's what they do. They always get us against each other. They get us in mobs and groups to go take out some people that never did us any harm. So anyway, I'm not going down gun control route. Get me all upset. I done read that law. Y'all done pissed me off with that law. That's a civil rights law. That's all they're doing. They're attacking Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement, and they're deleting that for mentally ill people. I am not going down that road today. Don't take me down there, Amy. Stop it. We talk to somebody else. Oh, the places we go. Edison started the Menlo Park model of laboratories. Oh, I don't know nothing about that, Lola Mar. You're gonna have to educate me. Tell me something. Uh, Watch out for the food that disrupt your endocrine system, as your pineal gland is the key that opens the door to consciousness. Ooh, you're gonna just go there, Lordina. Am I saying your name right, Lordina? You just want to go there, right? Because that's what they want. They want to disrupt your ability to tap into whatever we're tapping into. I love like the thoughts that people have on the pineal gland. I love the theories. I want to look at them. Um, More, I kind of pay attention and I study them a little bit because it's important. It's very important to focus on the fact, like what I like about in the Bible, how it talks about God is omnipotent and it knows everything. How does it know that? How does it know that? Perhaps through microbiology and, cellular intelligence is a thing. We know all cells communicate with each other. Look at biophotons. We know that all cells in your body emit light. They all emit, 1,000 pulses of light per second. So before there's a chemical relationship, a conversation happening, you know how the pharmaceutical companies tell you that chemical reactions drive all life? They're completely wrong. The conversation, it starts as light, right? And so that gets down to all that microbiology. They're all connected. And how does something that perhaps download software to you? Because I'm an IT professional. That's where I came from. At nighttime when your computer shuts down, the NSA, they upload the updates for Windows so they can watch you and know what you're doing and get all your naked pictures, all that stuff. Um, that's what I think a pineal gland is, sister. I think the pineal gland, when we go to sleep or when you tap into it they talk about the psychedelics and all that stuff, it releases DMT, it taps us into something else. I think that this is a way that we tap into those Akashic records or the multi-dimensions or whatever God is. They talk about the burning bush, that the burning bush actually was an acacia bush. The acacia is one of the trees that has a compound that gets released that has the same effects, I think, as DMT, right? The acacia plant. And so that the burning bush actually was an acacia burning bush. And that what Abraham saw, what Abraham did is tapped into through his pineal gland because it activates with the DMT-like substances. And it tapped him into whatever God thing is, the aliens, multi-dimensional spiritual things, souls, whatever it is, and it gave it the 10 Commandments. Possibly, I don't know, but yeah, I think that's important. Don't drink no fluoride. Don't eat bad things. Eat natural foods. They put the big chemical companies, they are the biggest colonizers on the planet because they're colonizing your body with chemical compounds your body can't fight off, y'all. Don't take any synthetic drugs, none of it. I'll say this. This is the only place I back up. If you need a drug to live, take that drug. Don't ever listen to anybody saying don't listen to your doctor. That's where the pharmaceutical industry and I actually agree. If it is keeping you alive, technology is not all bad, y'all. We're not Amish. But the vast majority of drugs, they're just synthetic drugs to make you feel better. But as they make you feel better, they toxify your body. They cause problems with your pineal gland. They cause problems with your brain. A lot of those synthetic chemicals, and the metals, they get caught in your tissue. The breast tissue is one of the tissues in the body that collects a lot of heavy metals, and so does the brain. And now we have autism and Alzheimer's and breast cancer and all these things. And it's because you're trusting the colonizers' corporations. You're trusting all of this crap that they're telling you. Let me get off of Witchburn, but you're trusting all of this crap that they're telling you. There is no such thing as a synthetic compound that's the same compound as what's in nature. When they make vitamin C, it's not vitamin C. Can I find a quick example of that synthetic drug versus a natural synthetic compound versus natural compound? I don't know. I'm geeking out a little bit. Hang on, give me a minute. I think I talked about this a long time ago. Synthetic compound versus a natural compound. Like when they make the compound, it actually is different. So oh, I spelled it wrong. Man, I can't spell nothing. I can't save my life to spell. That's why kids are, Daddy, you can't spell. You're not good at it. Daddy, you need to go back to school with me because you suck at spelling. I'm not that bright. But the synthetic compound versus a real compound. So because a chemical industry comes together and they say, hey, this is vitamin C. I'm gonna try to get a picture of it. This is vitamin C, and this is what it looks like. They say, well, it's got this compound, or uh, it's got this, and this, and so it's vitamin C. No, it's not vitamin C. Not to your body, not to your pineal gland, not to every piece of microbiology in your body. It is an alien substance. It is nothing synthetic actually looks like at the atomic level, or even beneath that, because we don't know what's beneath that. But it doesn't look like the same. It's not the same thing. It might have similar effects, but it's not the same thing. And so it's all an experiment. All of these pharmaceutical drugs are all experimental. And if you're trying to tap into spiritual stuff, you're trying to go back to being a natural creature where we have the abilities that God gave us, or the microbiology gave us, or Buddha gave us, or Shiva, or whoever, Elaine gave us. If you want to tap into that stuff, you better not be eating synthetic drugs. You better not be taking things that have medicines in them. When you go outside, don't breathe in, because all the chemtrails, like my friends will tell you, they're spraying all that crap on you. Stay away from it. So good. Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Menlo Park model sponsored by David Rockefeller. Yeah, you're going to have to send me. I'm a, who said, Mark, y'all have to bring me up to speed on stuff. Like I said, I live under a rock. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you when I went under my rock. I went under my rock when I was an activist in my 20s, early 20s. All my friends were out drinking beer, acting crazy, chasing women. I wasn't. I was geeking out, man. I went under my rock, and I started reading the laws, and I realized that the colonizers were all lying to us about every damn thing. I couldn't deal with it, man. I was like, you know what? I separated myself from all of it. I found me a nice rock, put the lid on it. So I don't know a whole lot about Menlo Park. So you're gonna have to educate me. That's why I got smart friends. They teach me. I know the things that I know, but the things I don't know, I don't know. I'm not gonna try to convince you that I do. And so I'm just now peeking my head out from under the rock, and I'm like looking, oh damn, it's some woke people out there. Damn it. Look at what Kathy said. Look at what Lynn said. Look at what Amy talking about. Sister Lord, Joe and Lola Mar. Listen to what they talking about. Crystal, I'm not by myself. They know the colonizers were lying about everything. So I pushed the lid off and came out. I'm like, oh, damn it. Wow, it's some woke people. They come from the left and the right in different places all over the world. They're like, nope, the colonizers are always lying to us. And so, yeah, I don't know everything about it. I know very little about little. So that's why I appreciate my friends who teach me stuff. So I'm off looking into the giants and all this crazy stuff. I just typed in colonizers. I'll get in trouble. I typed in colonizer, look what came up. I get in trouble, boy. I typed in colonizer, look what came up. This is bad. Y'all bad. Why y'all put this stuff on the internet? Oh, he's trying to get, but let's be fair. Every religion did its own colonizing. Every group, every culture, every continent, it's not a race thing. Everybody done did some colonizing. Um, like I think we had an example we're talking about earlier this week. I think we're all playing a game. We are all in these 1% game, and it's a game called Monopoly. And don't none of us own any property. And we keep going around the board, we keep rolling dice because we think the board is true. We think we got a chance. We think we are in the big club. We talk about it, the big club, George Carlin, and we ain't in it. We always think we're in that club. And so most of us, Alice, just keep rolling the dice. Alice, just Wonderland is real. Wonderland is real. All this is real. No, it's not real. None of this is real. They're lying to us. Brother Joe, welcome to the house, man. Should start reading and playing music to babies while they're in the womb. Yeah, Joe, I'm with you, man. You're tapped into that stuff. I think when babies are in the womb, we should be playing the music. You should be singing to them. You shouldn't be at work doing TPS reports, and neither should your husband be. He taking care of you. The kids should be taking care of mom. Make sure mom is happy and laughing, because happy people who have happy babies that are tapped into great things. But when mom is stressed out, Epigenetics kicks in, the baby gets stressed out, warrior genes get cut on. We end up having little psychopaths that shoot up schools and do dumb stuff. And that's why I think the colonizer society is all wrong. We got it all wrong. We have to completely delete this society all over the world. If it's a colonizer model, we got to get rid of it. We have to take modern technology and go back to living on a lot of the ancient wisdoms that all the tribes had, from Britain to France to Italy, to Prussia, to Russia, to China, to Australia and Africa, and North Africa and South America and Mexico and the islands and Easter Island and America, Native America. I think we have all of these cultures that were rich and they all work together. And we got to go back to being smart as our ancestors, wise as them, and not fighting with people over silly stuff because the colonizers want us to. Stop being a colonizer. Now we talk about the slave mind. I think the slave mind actually is the colonizer mind. I think there's something deeper than that. I think there is a colonizer mentality, and that's why people fight you. That's why when you say Loch Ness Monster is real and the ancients talked about it, they want to fight you with it because the colonizers' mentality teaches them to be combative and to fight things that they don't possibly know because they haven't seen it, to deny everything. There's a difference between being a skeptic and being a jerk. A nice jerk, man. Love you, love you, love you. But don't act like no jerk and don't knee jerk. You hear something that you've never heard before, don't just fight it because that's stupid, man. Don't do that. And disconnect that television. Yeah, Lynn, I think the television brainwashes us. I don't even know where we're going with this, y'all. I'm just talking now. I don't know how long I've been talking, but we can keep a good conversation. As long as we keep it going, we'll keep it going. But that was the kind of the point of the conversation. If you joined late, is that I didn't even see the title. What happened to the title? I done lost the title. Oh, let me jump off of here. The title, where's the title? What we were talking about? Yeah, we're talking about how old is man. We don't know how old man is. And so, but all of it kind of relates together. It's not just the age of man, but what did man know that was forgotten, right? What did man know? I always like the Avatar Mountains, y'all. We in China. This is China. These are the real Avatar Mountains. And I like it because it's interesting to me because Avatar, I think, was a documentary. Think about this for a minute. What if Avatar was real? What if we actually went to some of these other moons and they're meeting with all these other people and aliens and species and all this crazy stuff? That would be pretty amazing. And what if they like the movies they just kind of released to us? They're up there going after helium-3. How do they even know helium-3 was on the moon? How did they know what's on all these other moons? Unobtainium, right? That was the mineral they were going after. But it's the same colonizer mindset. If you really think about it, the Avatar movie was about colonizers. They went to the moon. They murdered a bunch of people. They were taking their land. They did not belong there. Like I posted a meme earlier. It was funny. It was like a shark. and it's like, it says something like sharks aren't mean. They just don't like people. If somebody came in your house with Speedos on, you'd probably bite them too. I'm not sure where that can go. I'm not sure I'd bite them, but it's that whole colonizer mindset. We think that we own things and property. We show up, we can take things. But that's what the movie was about. If you were fighting in your mind for the blue people and you wanted the blue people to the Na'vi, if y'all wanted the Na'vi to win in the movie Avatar, then you weren't fighting. Then why do you have a colonizer mindset today? Why do you do that? Why do you have the mindset of the corporations that were going to the mine, taking everything that the Na'vi had? If you actually are the mindset, you have the mentality of a colonizer. You always get behind their strategies and the things they taught. I'm up in comments. Let me move down. Yes, Brother Mark, the Spanish Inquisition. Yep, the biggest problem there is, bottom line, is for greed and war is over religion. Bottom line, it's for greed and war is over religion. Well, right, it's about power and control. And a lot of religions, they're not about the gods. They're about the people who control the religion. And they tell you what the God, wants you to believe or think. And it's all about power and control. I know that J.P. Morgan pulled Tesla funding, and that's why the end of his influence. Yeah, J.P. Morgan pulled Tesla's funding, right. Effectively neutralized. It neutralized him because what happened, Lola Mart, like he would write, he wrote a letter to J.P. Morgan every month saying, I know how to do free energy. I got a tower. I can pull free energy out. I just need the money to do it. I need the money to do it. I need pleading and begging. And eventually, JP Morgan said, no, you can't meter free energy. Why in the world would I let you create free energy? I'm trying to make money. I'm an investor, you know, and not that I think JP Morgan was a bad guy. I don't. I think we have a bad system. I think when money got invented, we stopped evolving. And that's how we get into these messes is we keep empowering money, which I know people, they get scared when you say it. But if money stays in existence, human evolution will never restart. We will continue to fight to survive to make it, because that's how it works, right? You got to have money to survive. You can't eat, have water, house, whatever, because you don't have money. And so you indoctrinate a lot of people into the colonizers' mindset that you need currency. And eventually you're not just surviving, but you're living. And then the more, you know how that saying, more money, more problems. The more money you get, the more you need, the more you need, the more you need. You got to compete with the others. You got to have more other people trying to take stuff. Got to have more, more. And it never stops. And JP Morgan just got to a place where it's like, no, I need the money. I have to protect myself because the planet's populated with all these people. And so if money actually didn't exist, we wouldn't have these problems, which is why our ancestors perhaps were tapped into more spirituality than we are. And they had a lot less problems we did. They worked together a lot more than we do because they weren't in this colonizer mindset and they didn't have money. So I don't think it should exist. DNA is constantly changing. Yeah, it is. DNA is ever changing. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, Teresa. Yeah, bothering people with your pesky science, your pesky facts. DNA is never changing. But you know the thing I think about, Teresa, when I think about that, is how do they know what your DNA is? Because epigenetics is always changing DNA. It changes it based on the drugs you take and the environment you're in, the stress you face. How do we actually do a DNA test to know, oh, well, this person is this person because we did a DNA study and we know they weren't at the scene of the crime because whatever, and we know DNA is always changing? I don't know. Maybe you can answer that question for me, but I think a lot of this is just a whole lot of lies. It's just the colonizers lying to us because they co-opted science, they own the universities, they own the corporations, and they keep just getting us to chase our tails. We all got to do is stand up. We all got to do. Oh, I'm sorry, Lynn. I had to drink more coffee. I can't even read. All we got to do is stand up and the game is over. That's it, Lynn. Any day. Why is my nose itchy, Lynn? I don't know. Maybe we stand up, my nose stop being itchy. I don't know why. It's microbiology telling me something. I don't know. But all we got to do is stand up. And that's where hope is. You're right, Lynn. Any day, the human race can back this all down and be done with it. Any day. People stop fighting over silly stuff and come together and it's all over. Notice Monopoly has a jail and go directly to jail cards. Man does not collect 200. Yeah, you're right. Mark, we never collect 200. You roll the dice, you can go to jail or not, but you will never collect 200. You will never get a property. The game is rigged, which is why what Lynn just said. We can all stand up together and just push the Monopoly board over and say we're done with it. We can do it peacefully. You can't fight it. You can't fight jail, and you can't fight it while most of us are locked up in these ignorant colonizer mindsets. You won't fight it. They got all the bombs. They got all the guns. They got all the drones. They got all of that. You can't stop them violently. People have to vibrate higher. They have to elevate higher. Whatever you believe in, they have to actually believe what's in the religious books that they actually read and turn against their ministers and their pastors and their leaders who say that they are Christian and Muslim, but they're not. They're just terrorists that have co-opted government with these colonizer mindsets, this central controlling governments. And when the majority of people are that way, all they got to do is stand up and say, nope, I'm done. It's over with. It's already in you, right? Think about gifting. You ever give anybody anything? People don't have to always buy stuff from you. You know, you can make things and give it away. I do it all the time. Right? You do it because you love people, because people need it, you care about people, or it makes you feel good. You actually don't have, I believe it's a lie that we need people to go to work and hold up the society. I don't believe any of it. I think the guy who works at the water plant, he'll keep working. I think the lady who works at the electric factory, the power plant, she'll keep working too. Why? She likes electricity and she doesn't want to shut it down. You know, I think we flip it around and do shifts, and some days I go, some days she goes. She wants to stay home with her kids. You know, she's gonna have a baby, stuff like that. But it works out really easy. Like when you even look at the Ubuntu communities, it worked out that they only got to work 3 hours a day, and they all just the rest of the week they spend with their family. The rest of the week they do what they want. They create things. They sit around like this and talk and think and philosophize, and work together. You know, but this idea that you got to work 40 hours a week for us to keep this society propped up is a lie. We can stand up anytime we want. Anytime we're done playing Monopoly. Lynn says she loved being pregnant. I did too. No, I did. Not really, Lynn. But my ex-wife president, I love that. When she's pregnant, not president. I love that too. I mean, it was a beautiful time. Don't get me wrong. It was. But boy, you know, the hormones do something. They'll do a thing. I was always going to get cherry ice cream. I don't know why. I think my oldest son didn't like cherry ice cream. She always wants some damn cherry ice cream. 3 o'clock in the morning, the devil came out. Lynn, I was trying to sleep. The devil was sleeping right next to me. Cherry ice cream. I'm like, I'll work tomorrow. Cherry ice cream. Look, I was scared to death. I should have got right up, put my pants on. Shoot, listen. I went to Giant. The Giant was the only place that had cherry ice cream because she wanted the real cherry, not cherry ice cream, not Ben and Jerry's. She wanted cherry. The ice cream had some cherries in it. I had to go to damn Giant to get some cherry ice cream, little cherries in it. So you might enjoy being pregnant. It was an experience for me. I won't say I enjoyed it, but it taught me a lot. And that's on the discussion point, isn't it? Because as a pregnant woman, you're in tap with things and the baby and microbiology and all kind of things. Like in that cherry might have been a compound that the baby needed. My oldest son needed a compound that's in that cherry, which is why when I tried to figure out, Lynn, I got the regular cherry ice cream, just cherry goo or something, wasn't real cherries. And she didn't like it. Like she got, that's it. I want cherry ice cream. So I had to go back to the store. It didn't work. But there's like a compound in the natural, organic, regular cherry. But you know, that cherry wasn't organic. This was before the organic industry. That cherry was not no damn organic, but it had the right compounds in it. And it's possible that through the baby, all this communication was happening with this microbiology and conversations of light and everything else, biophotons, where it went up to her brain and it said, I want that. You know, it's just deep, but there's so much we don't understand, and it's so amazing. And it's like a question I always come up with. I always ask, like, how did the ancients know sage has the properties it does? How did they know that? They didn't burn down every damn tree and bush in the forest and found, you know, smell it. Oh, nope, I don't feel smarter. Nope, don't feel smarter. Burn down poison ivy. Nope, don't feel smarter. Man, my nose itchy. You know, they didn't do that. They knew sage has the effects on the human brains that it does, which is why a lot of your folks who are tied into spirituality stuff, before they meditate, they take the sage out. You know, it opens your pores. Like do a study of, do a search online and look up sage, what sage does. Sage is freaking phenomenal. I wonder if somebody actually knows how the ancestors knew what was in sage, that when you burn it, it actually helps you to think, but they somehow figured it out. You know, and I think it has a lot to do with your gut bacteria and trust your gut, and it knowing that, you know, when I burn this sage and I meditate, it actually works, and I can lift up the stone blocks and I can build the pyramid when I do that. But when I don't burn the sage, I don't go to those levels, right? And I don't have the ability to lift up the rocks. So, all right, so we're not going to burn poison ivy no more. We're going to burn the sage. You know, but there's so much that we've lost because we fell in with these colonizers, man. We fell into this colonizer mindset and they burned up all of our ancient history. You know, one of the other things I like that talks about how ancient man is you look at the pyramids they're finding underwater. They're finding pyramids underwater. They're finding structures in cities underwater, that places that didn't have water for tens of thousands of years, you know. All interesting stuff. Let me go down to the bottom. Lost in Contu, yes, Ubuntu. I want to know more about that. Lolamar, do a search for somebody. Post the link for the Ubuntu community. It's Ah, gosh, it's Michael Tellinger. I think he was the one who started it, and he was an ancient archaeologist guy. You know, it's all related, y'all. Spirituality, understanding, going back and thinking about who we actually are. But I don't remember. It's Ubuntu because Ubuntu. I'm an IT guy, so to me, Ubuntu actually it's Linux. It's not. It actually it's an operating system. It's not like how to save the world. Go back to communal living. But I think it's something Ubuntu.org, UbuntuAfrica.org, something like that. But if you go out to their Facebook, they got Ubuntu communities in every country, in a lot of states, and they have meetups where people are getting together. But it's an awesome thing, Lola Mar, where I know I'll probably mess it up if somebody. I know I have friends who actually are in the community, but um, something to the effect of it affects the economy. Like it's based on people just living communally without a leader that's going around diddling everybody's wife, having babies all over the communities. Not the David Koresh stuff, Jim Jones nonsense, but it's a real community where it does tie into the economy, right? So government doesn't hate it. They will allow it. They don't send the police to put everybody in prison because you're not spending money with the township. But it actually builds up the local economy. But because the community is working on making soap, I guess as a good example, the price of their soap is so low that people in the surrounding communities will buy from that community because the price is cheap and the quality is high and it's natural and it's organic. And so they support it. And so if you are a soap maker in the next town, you're going to stop making soap. You're going to get put out of business because the people who are making it in the Ubuntu communities are doing it not only probably better and organic and natural, but at a cheaper price. And the whole Walmart model, right? Why is Walmart taking over the world? Because they have cheap crap, because they do it on slave labor. So the Ubuntu community kind of reverses that, where you're doing it on collective labor, where everybody agrees to make soap 3 hours a week, and they live their life the rest of the time. They all get food, they get water, they get a house, they have community living, they raise children, they got schools. And so it infects the surrounding towns, which is huge as far as a solution. So that's the extent that I know, Lola Mar. I don't know a ton more about it, but like I can go put a search in. I was going to talk about Ubuntu community. But I think it started in Africa, and it was Michael Tellinger. But the Ubuntu communities are interesting. Take a look at them. Crystal Crave, mangoes and avocados. Makes sense. But you know, Crystal, question. Does your son like mangoes and avocados? That's a good question. So while Crystal was pregnant, she had cravings for mangoes and avocados. I think there's a reason why these things happen. I wish somebody would study it. But what if your son, when he was still vibrating on a higher spiritual level, while his body, his human cow temple thing was being formed in your womb, that it knew that it got compounds from avocados and mangoes that helped it develop? Maybe the compounds in avocados and mangoes fueled its stem cells somehow. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just going out there, but I'd be curious to know, what effects do mangoes and avocados have on his body? Like somebody should study it. Where what they take the cells, take some of his cells, put them in a petri dish, put the mango and avocado juice next to them. Shoot, the cells might turn into Mighty Mouse. You never know. Jump up and fly off the table, flying around. Your son eat enough mangoes and avocados, y'all. Crystal son gonna save everybody. He gonna turn into Batman, start flying Superman, take down the world's colonizing governments, and we'll all be safe, man. We all can go back to being happy creatures, living our life, hunting, gathering, raising kids, raising kids like a community. I don't know. You crave what you need. Yeah, Teresa, I think all of that's true. I think we don't understand it, but we should trust our bodies and trust in it. Pop-Tart, spinach, dill, pickles together. Oh. All right, Lisa. All right, Lisa, I can't go there. Pop-Tart, spinach, and dill pick. Oh, my Lord, that's a smoothie I would never put in my mouth. Oh, my God. I love Pop-Tarts, though. I love spinach, and I love pickles. And my mother used to say, like, my stuff used to mix on my plate. I didn't want to eat it. She said, baby, it all mixes in your stomach. Just eat it. My mind doesn't work. I get the gag reflex. That's my microbiology telling me that's not supposed to go in my stomach. It's going to come right back out. But anyway, trial and error and Experimentation, absolutely. Me too. Do, 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 do. Um, my son, it was dark chocolate. He is now a chocoholic. My daughter, it was ice cream, which she loves. But you know what, Teresa? That's not a fair example. Stop it, Teresa. Stop it, girl. You cheating now, because that got sugar in it. You know how that works. Got a whole lot of sugar. Everybody loves some chocolate. Every kid does. Shoot, we used to go trick-or-treating. We'd take bags. We'd take garbage bags. We didn't care. Because you know how when you're little, you start off with the little you had the little plastic jack-o'-lantern you carry around. Hi, Mr. Jack-o'-Lantern. You get older, you're like, no, that's not the game, damn it. I want some sugar. Because they take the compounds out of the plants that we crave, like the cherries and the spinach and the stuff that the baby tells the mama that it needs, and they'll put it in the candy, and that's why your body craves the candy. You eat the candy, you get that endorphin response, and you're like, oh, I need more, I need more. You get addicted to it. Yeah, we used to get garbage bags and just fill them, go around, trick or treat, get this big old bag. That's a bad example, Teresa. Stop playing. It might be the right example. I don't know. Because why? Because ice cream comes from a bean, right? So that bean might have that compound that your kids need. Y'all need to make some superheroes, man. Make some superheroes so we can get out of this crazy world. I want to get out of colonial times. Like, the more I think about it, we never left colonial times, y'all. We never did. We are all in a colonial mindset, and we support it all the time. Mankind, it's not just how old we are, but it's all the things we forgot about. All the things that allowed us to vibrate on a higher level, we've given up for, and we've become colonized. As much as we hate slavery and we hate, being stupid, we all have these mindsets. That's why we were talking about last week, posted a meme with like a bunch of broken glass. And it was just like every day we're just shattering our glass houses because we all have these glass houses and we got to shatter them. If we ever are to get away from colonial days of, a very wealthy 1% always making a whole lot of money on slaves. We got to get away from always supporting the kings and the queens and the betters. They're not your betters. They're just better at playing Monopoly. They beat us out. Humankind is very, very old and probably has a very proud heritage, a lot of wealth or rich culture that we've all given up on, but we got to go back to that. Breaking my bad sugar habit was one of the hardest things I've done. Yeah, mine too. You know what I did with that, Crystal? I got away from sugar with stevia. I got away from sugar with stevia. I grow stevia. Y'all should grow stevia. It's very easy to grow. It grows just like basil. Easy plant to grow. I'm a plantaholic. If you didn't already know, that's my thing. And I don't know. We're often talking about other stuff, but I guess it's all still related because stevia. I mean, getting away from these synthetic things. It's how you get your body back to a natural state. If you can get your body back to a natural state, it'll at least be in the place it was back when we had the ability to do all the things we did that we forgot how to do. All the megalithic structures and all that stuff that we made. So possibly going back and tapping into that is the right thing. And getting away from sugar is a big one. So yeah, stevia is real easy to grow, just like basil with back buds. Always want to collect it, harvest it from the top. Just keep harvesting from the top 30%. It'll back bud. The goal is to make it a big bush. In India, they burn it, y'all. Like, process this for a minute. In India, they burn it because it's a weed. It gets in the way. They don't want, it's a weed. It's trash. It's a trash plant to them, because it's so prolific. But in America, I think still, I'm not sure still, per ounce, it almost equates the price of cocaine per ounce. Think about that. Damn it, get yourself a stevia plant, grow stevia, because they're going to make that illegal. But stevia is how I got away from sugar. But you want to get away from the synthetic things. You want to get away from the synthetic sugars and sugars that, high in content than what you would get in a fruit. You don't want concentrated fruit in anything. Like my coffee, I lucked up. I got away from the creamers. I got away from creamers because when I went to Vermont, Claudia made me hemp milk. hemp milk, right? And hemp milk already has this natural nutty flavor, natural sweet flavor. So the coffee was delicious. And I decided then I've got to stop. I know how to make my own creamer. I've never done it. And so I kind of played around and I got to a point where I've got a natural coffee and I'll put a little, I don't have stevia in this one. I don't always need it, but I'll use maple syrup. And so anything to get away from the colonizers' food, right? That's the other part of it. Get away from the colonizers' food. I mean, I don't know that they poison the food. I don't know that they poison the food intentionally in a conspiracy to make us sick and corrupt our pineal glands, calcify them, you know. But what I do know is these things don't help us. These things hurt us. And the things that don't hurt us are neutral, but they're still not the natural things we ate. So we want to get away from the colonizer mindset. Stop building ships and going to invade people and telling them how to live. Mark, his phone died. I'm back. I'm sorry, Mark. I don't even know. But we just having a long discussion on colonizer psychology. You know, the not the slave mind, but the colonizer mind. We got to get away from it, y'all. We got to get away from telling people what to do and invading lands. Sister Lynn says she loved her some Claudia. Yeah, I do too. Claudia is just she just got a spirit in her. That's a wonderful woman. Wonderful woman. Lot of love, lot of love. That's why I don't like it when people went after her a little while ago. Y'all remember that? I was quiet. They came for Claudia. I had to step up. Y'all can't be messing with my friends. Y'all got to stop. Y'all, this tribalism thing. And that's where I became, that's when I became close to Debbie and Claudia, because they came after them a long time ago, some tribal people. And if you were one of those people, I love you too. We all get lost in our tribal mindsets, and I get lost in mine too. But they came after my friends, and I'm just like, we're not going to play tribalism. We are not going to play race games. We are not going to do that. And so I won't talk about none of that, but that's in the past. You won't remember any of that stuff. You can go back, watch my videos. But I don't play that game. We have to vibrate higher, not vibrate lower. We need to find reasons to understand why people do what they do and attempt to understand them, not fight them because we're mad at them, right? Or something happened. Don't escalate things. And that was that whole event, you know, is my breakdown on that one, Lynn. It's just, it escalated out of control, you know, and that's the problem is everybody's good people, I think. But when you let things escalate out of control, they become things that they should not be. You don't want to be an escalator. You want to be a de-escalator. When you see people getting into it, you don't want to think about things to help further somebody else's point if it's already at argument level. You want to think about the things, what can you say to try to de-escalate and bring it back down? Because all people are good people. If you were that person in their shoes with their genetics, raised the way they were, you would be that exact person. And I think when you really trust the science and epigenetics, and you really trust what God said and what all the other religions said, that you can't judge people because we're all the same people, you stop judging, right? You stop judging. And if anything, you get to a point, if someone says something that really hurts your feelings, they do something that makes you feel bad or whatever, you just say, you know what? I'm happy that I'm not in their position, that I would say that. I get cussed out, y'all. Y'all know that I get cussed out. People cuss at me sometimes. I don't cuss at people, they cuss at me. I just let it roll off, you know, best that I can. And if I can, I walk away. Because if I were in their shoes, I'd be them. And I'm just happy that that I actually had a good upbringing and some good people around me. And I got some good friends, a lot of love in my life, online and in real person, that I'm not that angry that I would cuss somebody out and flip out. You know, but I get upset. Everybody gets it. I got upset last week. I got upset. I had to turn the camera off. We all get upset, but I'm the type of person, I walk away. I mean, others, I guess you got to deal with it up front. Everyone deals with that stuff differently. I'm a walk awayer because I don't think when I'm upset, I'm going to say anything that's going to help anything. I know me well enough. I've been living with me a long time. We've been married a long time. When I get upset, I'm not going to say anything that's going to de-escalate. Right? I'm going to say things that are going to escalate. So I walk away. So I got mad. I started looking at that. What was that? That was about the shooting, the police going into schools and they were shooting live rounds in the schools where kids were there. And I started picturing my kids and their friends and a grown man walking and shooting a gun off. Boy, I wasn't ready for that. I don't even know what I said. I didn't even go back and watch the video. I didn't even see y'all. That was the one video. I didn't go back and watch y'all's comments. I couldn't. I couldn't. I got so mad. I had to turn it off. I felt like I was talking to Debbie last night. And she was like, "You were mad in that video? I don't know. I didn't think you were mad in that video. You didn't show it. You're supposed to show it." And I was like, "No, Debbie, that's you. That's your thing, girl. That's not my thing. I'm not to get madder. I get on camera, get mad. Oh no, it's just that it's not gonna end well." So I was laughing towards the end of it because I felt myself. I felt like my temper boiling up, and I was about to say something. So I stopped. I just turned the camera off. So no, but anyway, I think we got to de-escalate. I think this fighting amongst each other and escalators instead of de-escalators and all that crap that happened with Claudia and Debbie back then, it was just because we have this colonizer slave mindset, y'all. We got to get off of that. You know, these people with these boats that took over the whole world. That's why I said these people. If these people is always a 0.01%, we got to stop thinking like them. You're talking about Claudia and Debbie, and they got a look too in their eye. I laugh sometimes. I got a healthy fear, y'all. I do. I'm scared to death of women. Women, y'all, boy, and that's scripture too, isn't it? That's scripture. Go back to some colonizer mindset. But what that scripture says, it says, there's no evil like a woman scorned. Some of y'all want to be like my Christian friends. Y'all put that scripture. There's no scorn. There's no something like a woman scorned. There's nothing more dangerous than a woman scorned. Women scare the hell out of me. Y'all scare me. That's probably why I'm by myself. Y'all scare. Y'all some scary creatures. I sit there. I watch. What was Debbie talking about yesterday? She was talking about she was going into the legal stuff, but she got that look in her eye. You know, Debbie look in the camera and like, there, she get that look, boy. She did fried chicken. You know, she get that look in her eye. Boy, you know what? She like 800 miles away on a damn camera. I'm scared to death. My heart started doing this. Oh, Debbie scared the hell out of me. It's like, what is it? How they say the video games and what it does to people, your conscious and your subconscious. Your subconscious, it doesn't know the difference from television and real. When you're watching a movie, the heightened fear you feel, it's real. And your epigenetics, it's actually flipping genes like, oh, mother, we're going to have to run. We're going to get it together. Go up, you know, feet don't fail me now. You're getting ready to run. The adrenaline gets going. And that's why we like horror movies and we like, you know, explosion stuff because it's real. I sit there, I watch, and Claudia do it too, boy. When they get mad, man, I sit back, I start commenting. I start getting scared. They get that look in their eye. Shh, man, women scare the hell out of me. That's why that's probably why I'm not married now, man. The kids' mama, she used to scare to death. But you know what? And then somebody look at me and say, oh, he a punk. He's scared of women. First of all, let me explain something to you, punk. I can handle many of people. I might be 44, 43, 44, I don't know. Listen, I can handle myself. I won't go into the detail. I'm good to go. But, and this is for men for the most part. My strength is not for my wife. I ain't got no wife, but my strength is not for my girl. I ain't got one of them either. But my strength, it's not for my family. My strength is not for my friends. My strength is not for my tribe. My strength as a man is to protect all of those things, right? We can get in an argument at home, whatever, you know, spousal thing. And this is part for the women. You're intelligent because women, y'all are smart as you know, but listen, I think women are the smartest creatures on the planet too, but that's just me. Your intelligence isn't for your husband. The height of your intelligence and that scorn, it's not for your friends. It's not for the people you disagree with. Those things are a collective power for humanity, right? Man has a stronger stature because we were communal, we worked together, and the man's strength was to fight off the grizzly bears and to hunt, you know, for the bigger things And women, y'all sat back at home and y'all, oh, you went for the big mammoth, dummy? Y'all, you dummy, stupid. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to go for the little mammoth, not the one with the tusk. That's why Juju and Boo Boo and Tink Tink, they all cut up, bloody, got all kind of cuts, and because the mammoth stepped on them. You dummy, you're not supposed to do that. Like, next time, go for the little mammoth. And we worked together, you know, but we didn't use them to escalate problems and to make it worse. You know, your strength as a man is not to, definitely not to hit a woman or fight her, or you know, it might be the restrainer though. Might, if she's scoring, maybe it's the restrainer, but it's not against your family. You have those strengths to use for the collective strength of humanity. You're supposed to use that intelligence, women and men, to help us evolve further, right? To help the kids in Yemen. It's not just for your family, because the kids in Yemen, they're your family too. You know, our intelligence isn't get to beat up the Republicans and to get them to rejoin the Democratic Party. Democrat just as corrupt as dirty. They're colonizers too. You know, your wisdom and the person on the right, not to take what you know of the Constitution and beat the hell out of the left because they forgot what how to spell Constitution. That's not what it's for, right? Educate them with love and respect and get them back on team humanity, right? Because the left and the right too, y'all colonizers too. You have that same slave colonizer mindset, you know? So, oh man. And so, yeah, man, I was in a long conversation with this lady. I was talking about the other day. We got into the bonobos and the chimps. How you spell bonobo? Bonobo. We got into the whole bonobos versus chimps, because I see Lynn talking about women's intuition, and I mean that could make sense evolution wise, because women maybe had to have a little more intuition, a little more connection because of having a baby in them and being able to understand, what does the baby need? What am I supposed to eat? I need to eat some nuts and berries, whatever, you know, spinach and ice cream and Pop-Tarts grounded up in a grinder. You know, maybe they're in tap with that. Maybe that's what women's intuition is. It's not a thing to say, oh, you know, because like I said, I'm not a tribal person. So it's not, oh, man versus women, women versus man. No, I'm not. We all have evolved strengths, right? And those evolved strengths we need to be using collectively for positive things, not individually for negative things. I think that's how we get out of the deep, dark ages that we're in. You know, we got to use those things and to help each other, to not break it down. Lynn said, no, you're smart. No, I'm not smart, Lynn. I'm a great parakeet. That's all I'm a parrot. All I do is I listen to smart people. I listen to what y'all say. I listen to what my friends say, and I regurgitate it best I can. You know, I say something that's wrong. Somebody corrects me, says something. I look at it and I try to figure out where I was wrong in my thinking. I find the indoctrination. Oh, there you go, right there. Break that indoctrination glass, and try to be smarter. So no, I'm definitely not smart. I have a lot of smart friends, I think. Brother John, welcome to the house. Posted a link. Oh yeah. What is that? Hell, yeah, right, there you go. Thank you, John. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Yes, John, that's it, brother. Woo, boy, you ever want to see me run? John, brother, you won't ever see me run from no man. It ain't never gonna happen. They don't make men big enough. They don't make them strong enough. You know what I am? I'm like the Chihuahua. You might be bigger and stronger. You are not gonna chase me away. If you coming from my house, oh man, I'm gonna bite the hell out your ankles. You might beat me. You know, you ain't never gonna chase. But a woman, oh, I run from women all day. Every day I run from women. I run, I shoot. I got put my Nikes on. I'm gonna get the hell out. Not Nikes. We need some non-corporate shoes. I run because y'all evil, man. I love you women. I love you. But y'all too evil. Y'all too evil for me. I don't know, because women, I might be an angry Chihuahua, bite your ankle, rip it to shreds. Women, they die dead and come right back. Start stabbing you with the fingernails. No, that's okay. Y'all, your men, we supposed to love women. That's what we supposed to do. Don't fight them. Don't fight. They don't never give up. They'll never give up. And when they come, and when they come back, oh, they coming for you. Because you know why? You know the scariest ghost is? Let me show you something. You know the scariest ghost? It ain't the men ghost. Think about this. What ghost are you scared of the most? I know people say, they ain't gonna talk about some damn ghosts. What's wrong with this man? No, listen, they got devices now that actually capture the energy given off by paranormal activity. This is a fact now, dummy. It's a fact of homo. It's a real thing. So we know ghosts, whatever it is, energy, whatever. And I think most of them women. But what ghost scares you the most? Is it the old man that's a ghost? I ain't scared of no damn old man. Are you kidding me? I ain't scared of no ghost. That's it. I'm not, listen, y'all, somebody get him a Jerry. What you need, some Viagra or something? What, like, you ain't fun. You ain't scary. You go and get an old woman ghost. Who you scared of the most? This is epigenetics, man. This is truth being had. Who scared the hell out you the most? Go and tell. Look, I was in a theater. I was watching, what was it? Scary? No, it's not a scary movie. What the Ghost 3 or whatever that movie is. Damn it. When that woman, what is that movie? Y'all know the name of the movie? Where the woman, she was coming down and she was chasing the guy and she went backwards, like her arms and the legs and things, like she was upside down, turned up right. Her neck spun around and she started chasing the guy the other way. I was like, what the fudge? Scared the hell out of me. Listen, women ghosts, some scary mothers. But I'm saying, trust your body. Like the ancient said, trust your body. The ghost's real, man. I know, look. And what scare, all right, and I'm put another way. What ghost scare you more? Does a little boy ghost scare you? Or is that a little girl? It's that little girl. I know, don't lie. I tell you the truth. I screamed, Christmas scream, I screamed. And it wasn't no damn ice cream. I was in the theater, that damn thing. Cause I think, I don't know what movie it was. It was, man, I can't remember. It was like Ghost 3. It was that series of ghost movies. Scary as all hell. And, I don't know if he pushed the ghost away or kicked it or shot it or did something. And she hit the wall. She turned around, body, kick, arm flipped, at the joints flipped around and her neck just flipped around and chased the guy. I was like, ah! I was scared at the death. I was like, oh man, look, I believe in ghosts, y'all. I believe it's ghosts in this house. It's ghosts. I got ghosts in my house. I'm scared, but I'm not scared of the ghosts because it's good energy and bad energy. Whatever you believe, I'm fine with it. And that's some more colonizer stuff. That none of this stuff exists. People start saying, "Oh no, ghosts ain't real. You just the Ghostbusters." No, they real. We don't know what they are. I agree with you. I don't know that they're ectoplasm and whatever from the Ghostbusters. But ghosts, look at it. Oh, I got one for you. Look at this. Look at this. Doesn't that scare the hell out of you? Look at that scares the hell out of me when I look. Hey. Ghosts are real, but hey, ain't hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, because that woman will come to hell, out of hell, and that's why, listen, men, don't cheat on your wives. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. She will come back. You will pay that price. You don't ever get away with nothing. Karma works that way. So listen, I don't know how we get there. I need to tie it back to the topic. I need to tie it back. So, right, because the colonizers, they don't believe in ghosts. That's the first thing they say. Is, listen, let me tell you about some ghosts. They start, oh, ghosts ain't real. Nah, ghosts are real. The ancients always believed in ghosts, and they saw them around the fire dancing when they got the incense and the sage going. They always believed in them. Ghosts are real. Don't have a colonizer mindset. All right, man, y'all getting tired? I'm getting tired. Y'all will keep talking. I keep talking, but I'm getting tired. Y'all getting tired? Is it hot in here? I don't know. It's getting hot. I know the last couple of videos, I get hot. I don't know. Might be male menopause. That's what it might be. I'm getting hot. I don't know. No, ain't no male menopause. That thing don't shut that. Bad topic. I know. I ain't going there. I ain't going there. Ain't no. But it's hot. It's hot. I don't know. This is ghosts. But ghosts are real. I know how. I'm gonna tell you a ghost story. I'm gonna tell you if I'm not in trouble. I'm off topic. Kind of still on kind of topic. Ghosts are real. I'm gonna tell you, I woke up one night. Let me tell you this. This is my ghost story. Oh, but I'm gonna do a paranormal show, y'all. I think I'm gonna do a paranormal show. Brother Carl and I decided this morning we're gonna do a regularly scheduled unknown show. We're gonna talk about unknowns. We're gonna talk about X creatures. We'll talk about the aliens and the UFOs, and talk about paranormal stuff. We're gonna do a regular podcast. I think, I'm not sure yet. We talked about it might actually be Saturday morning or it might be Monday nights. I'll post it, but we're gonna, and I want to talk to Brother Carl because I love me some Brother Carl because he's real. He's a professional, and he has an approach that I like. Like I like when we had, I think we had a great conversation. We're not, we both looked at a lot of this stuff and we have a lot of corroborating information. Hey, why am I talking about that? I'm not talking about that. I was gonna tell you ghost story. This is where it'll fit in. Because I think Monday through Friday people, a lot of them are starting to, they're starting to see what I'm trying to do. Who was it? Brother Paris. He sent me a message this morning. We were talking. He knows what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to link together people who don't believe the same things. That's my strategy. I'm saying it. I'm putting it out there. I'm actually trying to link together people who are politically focused, people who are focused on ghosts, people on aliens and the Loch Ness monster and spiritual people and archaeology. Because I think it's all like the fact that we don't know the truth about anything, that our governments are allowed secrecy, corporations are allowed secrecy. I think that ends the human race. I think we got off of evolution's pathway. And that's actually what I'm trying to do. And that's why I talk about everything. People think I'm crazy. I don't know if Amy's still here. Every time I go in the room, Amy got something to say. Every time I go in the room, she like, oh, I can't go here with Gerard. I can't go here. I don't even know that's how she talks. She probably don't talk like that. But I talk about everything because it's interesting. It's all related, and when we all have time to listen to somebody else's thing that they're passionate about, thing that they want to share with other people, not only do we learn something, but it tears down walls. And we got to tear down some more walls. So anyway, that's what I'm trying to do with this. So I'm going to have some regularly scheduled shows. So people who have something to say, reach out to me. Reach out to me. Even if it's just one thing. You want to talk about one thing, I'm good with that. You just want to come on the show and talk about how you beat cancer. Send me a message and you come on the show and talk about it. If you want to talk about just a bunch of wide topics, go ahead and do that. Share, it's good to share. So my ghost story, right? All right, so listen, this is crazy. But no, it's good. This is why I'm not scared of ghosts. Women, because it's not a woman, it's probably a man ghost in my house, but little boy ghost. I sleep in one night. The kids with their mama. I sleep all by myself. Ain't nothing in my house. I sleep with some plants and some shrimp in the fish tank, and that's it. Microbiology, And so I woke up and I thought I heard something. You know how you wake up and it's a dream and you hear something that's like kind of bothers you a little bit? Did I hear something? Or was that the dream? I'm trying to think, is my pineal gland decalcified? Is it possible I remember my dream, or is somebody in the house? I wasn't sure. I was like, all right. Something, I don't know. Because I don't know, but something told me to knock on the wall. And so I knocked on the wall. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I was just like, damn sure something knocked back. It's some scary stuff. Y'all listen. I was sitting right there. I knocked on the door. I knocked on the wall. And all of a sudden I heard this. My heart stopped. I was done. Like I believed it. I think I kind of believed in ghosts before that. I did. Not really, kind of, sort of. I don't know. I don't know what I believe is hot time. Y'all know me. I'm a little crazy. But that night, I was done. My heart stopped and I just sat right. I must have sat there for an hour. I was just waiting to die. I was just right. I was just sitting there because I watch the ghost movies sometimes. That stuff scared me. I was just sitting there waiting to die. I was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die now. I'm just going. I know I'm gonna die. Listen, oh man, I'm not gonna see my kids. Man, I love them. I didn't say the last thing. What was the last thing I said to my son? I don't know if it was a good thing. Was he in trouble? Did he clean his room? Did I say something? I don't know. Damn it. Did I say? Did I say? I love tell my mom I love her. Did I tell everybody? My brothers, my sister, I love them too, and my friends. I don't know if I said it. I'm gonna die any minute now. This ghost gonna come in here and just gonna stick something in me. It's the Grim Reaper. I'm see a claw. I was ready to die. I was just there. I was frozen. I'm not strong as y'all. Like I said, if it's human, man, we can fight all day. I ain't scared of none of y'all punks, except for the women when y'all mad and y'all got them Debbie Claudia eyes. But short of that, I ain't scared of y'all. But then I didn't die. I didn't die, y'all. So the rest of the story, so you don't have to be scared. I wasn't killed. I wasn't killed. I made it. I made it through the night, but it scared the hell out of me. And after a while, like, I slowed down and I was like, you know what? They're good ghosts and bad ghosts. And we don't even know what ghosts are. Ghosts could be like a multi-dimensional thing. There could quantum physics. We know there are other dimensions out there. Sister Teresa just told you. Sister Teresa, I can say Sister Teresa, she like a nun. But we know there are other dimensions out there. And it might just be the energy on the planet from magnetic energy kind of phased enough, just enough for another creature, someone living in another dimension to just be able to, dang. Stop snoring, man. Why are you snoring so loud? I was like, I could have been snoring that night. And he's like, look, hey, shut him up. All right, how we gonna shut him up? All right, hit the dimension button, came through, made some noise, woke me up. Oh, I'm gonna scare the hell out of this dude. I'm gonna knock on it. And he knew how to wake me up. I don't know. I'm making stuff up with that. At that point, but I don't know. We don't know what ghosts are. So anyway, I don't know how I got talking about ghosts. All right, any other topics? If not, I'm gonna get back to my life. I don't have nothing to do today, but I'll get back to. Isn't that a scary ghost behind me? Isn't that look at this? Look at this. Tell me she don't scare the hell out you, and she ain't even no ghost. Ooh, let me do this. Y'all talking about ghosts. We can talk about ghosts for a minute. I know, like, is he talking about ghosts? I think Gerard done finally gone crazy. I think he done finally lost his mind. Let me do this. Real ghost pictures. I like this. This might scare me. I don't know. Should I type it? I don't know if I should type it. Yeah, listen. So the right things scare, the wrong things don't scare me. War doesn't scare me, you know, people, but damn it. The unknown, that's some stuff. Real ghost pictures. Look at this. Look, and that's a little girl on the sofa. You see her right there? Man, that's scary, man. Y'all see her? Tell me she ain't scary. She's scary. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing now right here. Look at this. Tell me. She sleep on the sofa. You come home, you just want to lay down and go to sleep. All of a sudden, you got some ghosts. Oh, come on, man. Stop. Look at this picture right here. Look at this. Somebody took a picture. You can see a ghost in the background. Oh, they there, man. Look at this. Look at it. Does that scare you? Look at her face. That's not happy. That's a Debbie or Claudia eye right there. Y'all see that? That's some scary stuff, man. That's what I'm saying. Man ghosts, they are not scary. They are not. They don't scare nobody. Man ghosts, y'all don't come back. Y'all don't scare nobody. You like grandpa. Like, grandpa, damn it, ain't you supposed to go outside, chop some wood or something? Don't man make that. Oh, how does that scare anyone? Oh, that does not scare anybody. What scares people is when you hear the shriek. Oh, like, damn it, what's wrong? You need some Advil? What, you getting pain, grandpa? What you need? But you see a female ghost, man. This one, oh, I'm gonna show up. Now we on ghosts now. We on ghosts. I know. I'm just talking about some damn ghosts. There is a ghost video. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on. There's a ghost video. Oh man. And there's a ghost video on YouTube. I'm not gonna show it because it's a little scary. Where it was a security camera. And a guy went upstairs. It was a security camera in a hotel. And a guy went upstairs because they heard screaming. And nobody was supposed to be in the room. And I'm going to mess it up. I'm going to lie. I'm not going to tell you. But anyway, because I don't remember. All I remember is they caught the ghost on the video camera walking out the room. And a guy, and I don't know if someone died in that one. There's some scary, I don't want to talk about, I'm getting scared, y'all. I don't want to talk about ghosts no more. All right, so Deborah, what you talking about? Ladies, I'm going to say right now, if anyone scorns you, the best thing to do is make them wish you cared enough anymore to bother with some wrath. Yeah. Okay, walk on the wild side, your bad side. Yeah, all right. No, that's to the girl. Y'all talking to women. Y'all ain't talking amongst yourselves. I don't do that, man. Y'all scary. That's what I say. I don't mess with women. That's not true. Look at that. Look at that. That's the scary. All right. I don't even know what we talk about no more. I agree. I think they are just another dimension. They are, because they're multiple dimensions. Ooh, let's go back. Let's talk about some dimensions. This is some scary stuff. Y'all see this, man? This is why y'all shouldn't take no Polaroid cameras. It's some scary stuff out there. Um, but you know what? You know what I like? You know what I like? There's a good show, The Upside Down. Y'all see The Upside Down? The Demogorgon. What is the name of that show? Um, Let me do this. How many? How many? We just studying today. How many dimensions are there? Um, there is a show by the name of, somebody can post it. How many shows are no? There's a show by the name of, I forgot, it's on Netflix. But anyway, it's The Upside Down. Talks about a different dimension, but it's a really good show. But oh, here's my favorite. This is my favorite right here. This is why we talk about dimensions. This is why we talk about ghosts. This is why we talk about Loch Ness and aliens in between, because we don't know the truth of anything, because the colonizers have taken over the world. That's why we talk about politics, because that's unfortunately how it's all related. But you are here. You're right there. You know, and there's not a pixel that's small enough to show you how little you are in the grand sense of things, just in the Milky Way galaxy alone. We don't know anything. We don't know anything. Um, and so whether there are other dimensions, I thought physics already proved that. And two, ghosts. Three, possibly aliens. They might not be coming from other planets. Maybe all the planets are empty, all of them. Maybe they come from other dimensions, and maybe they're always here. Maybe they're walking around. What, like, think about it like this. Who was that? Teresa that was talking about. You know what I think about Teresa? We see in how many dimensions do we kind of see in? Like, we see in four, was it four? Are we 4D? Four dimensions, four dimensional? But think about a bacteria. Like, its world for the most part is one dimension. Like, it's pretty daggone flat by comparison. And it doesn't even know we exist. Maybe they don't even know we exist. Maybe they can't even see us. Maybe do they even have eyes? But they live in their own plane, in their own biological dimension, on one dimension. And we live on a different one. And it's highly possible that there are creatures bigger than us. There are multi-dimensional creatures that are different than us, that are more spiritual than us, that are tapped into more things. And they're literally right next to us all the time. They're walking around us, and they can see us, but we can't see them, like bacteria. And they walk through us and walk around us, and they just look at us like maybe we're a TV show. We could be the three. You know what? We could be a TV show called 4D. And it's just like, you know how like we look at microbiology from microscopes, and they don't see us, but we see them. And they're just watching us like, oh, what are these dummies doing now? They don't know nothing. Meanwhile, we aren't all that dumb. But it's possible that that's what all of that stuff is. I don't know. Like, think about somebody who is not schizophrenic, but when the people who see things, like when your dog, when it starts barking and there's nothing there, you know, maybe that their pineal gland isn't calcified. I don't know. Maybe they have enough DMT and they're seeing another dimension that's there. But you are here, you know, not just from a space perspective, but even from a multi-dimensional, you're here. Why are you talking about something that's over there? You never been there, dummy. You're only this big. There could be millions of dimensions, you know, layers upon layers, and we wouldn't know anything. Infinite. Yes, Tariq, could be infinite, you know, and it's just, that's why our place, and they talk about dancing, they say to people like, your place is here. This is your zone. You know, just dance right here in your zone. This is you. Don't get outside. This is what you're good at. You know, just left, right, left, right, left, right. That's all you're good at. You know, don't try to do a complex move. And we try to think complex, and then we try to dance a complex dance, and we fall on our face. And I think that's what happens to humanity in the future, probably in the past too, is we got out of our zone. We got out of our lane. We thought we were so smart, We thought the colonizers' science was so smart. We thought they knew what they were doing, and we collapsed civilization because we got out of our lane. I think that that all makes a whole lot of sense. Um, oh, Black Mirror, Grace, thank you. Ooh, the Black Mirror. Do y'all watch the Black Mirror? The Black, oh my goodness. And the Black Mirror to me, because I always got to tie it to a topic. People come in late because they're like, oh, we're going to talk about colonization and human beings being millions of years old. I always got to try to tie it back. But the Black Mirror is an anti-colonization show. It is the show. If you don't watch it, I know some of y'all kind of like, oh, it's an indoctrination show. Not really. What? Oh, this episode right here. This is some crazy stuff. The Black Mirror is basically, it's like an Alfred Hitchcock. Like if you took Alfred Hitchcock and Twilight Zone and you married that up with like a forward thinking person like a Gene Roddenberry, and you added in, don't go that direction. The colonizers they're never here to help. The government is never here to help. Add a little bit of that in there. That's what that show is. That show walks you through episode to episode, a different story. You don't have to start at the beginning. In fact, I recommend you don't start at the beginning. Don't watch the first show as the first show. Because if you watch the first show, a lot of people will never watch the second one. You'll never watch the third one. The first show, it's more for an anti-political person. But what the shows do, it's a little nasty. But what the shows do is they say, this is the mindset of man. This is what we believe in. This is what we do with technology, and this is our direction. And if we keep going this direction, and we don't stop the colonizers, we keep rolling it out, we don't wise up, we don't vibrate higher, eventually we will become this. And it gives you a story in the future of what happens if we keep pushing technology ignorantly to no end. And it paints a great picture. Like this episode here, this was the gaming episode, right? If we keep going in the direction of gaming, that's what that show was. It was a great episode. Let me see. I don't know if I remember this one. Nope, that's not one. Black Mirror, it is a great show. They had episodes about cell phones. If we keep moving with cell phones, they had let me see if I can do this. Black Mirror episodes. They had a great episode. What like their vision of the future. If we it's like an episode guide. You didn't mention it. Now I'm interested. If we keep moving forward with blocking. So what happens if we keep moving forward with blocking mindset, where if we see something we don't like, we just block it and we don't want to see it anymore? And what happens if we deploy that on kids, where, after we have all the technology, we got the eyepieces, and if you don't want your kids to see violence, you can just press a button on your pad and it blocks out violence. Like what can happen to us psychologically down the road if we do that? Great episodes. What was this one? Oh, this was the episode where that's the AI episode. What happens in the future when we have AI, or in the near future when we use a human being's makeup from a how your brain works perspective and uses human beings as AI. That was another great one. This one, if you're a Star Trek fan, I love my sci-fi. This was another one. This was what happens in the future if we continue to make the Jeff Bezos of the world powerful. If we keep buying from Amazon.com and making the most powerful people in the world, if we continue to along this mindset of being able to sync human beings with computers. And I'm not an anti-technology guy, and I'm not an anti-automation guy. I love technology. I love automation. I think we got to always move forward. But there's a difference between moving forward with the colonizers in control of the world and moving forward with human beings vibrating on the same level, acting as a collective, utilizing technology to help everybody, as opposed to using technology to make just an elite few very, very wealthy and powerful. So it's a great show. Y'all should watch Black Mirror. Oh, this one was kind of scary. I forgot one of them I couldn't go to sleep on. I forgot which one it was. One of them was really scary. If you get scared easy of unknown stuff, this is not the show to watch before late night. But I think every high school in the world should force the kids to watch it because they're the ones who have to live in the future of all of this technology and the colonizers determining. I'm not going to say elite anymore. I'm not going to say 0.01% anymore. I'm going to say colonizers from now on. I'm going to try to. But if we keep pushing them, these kids, in a direction of the colonizers running their world the way the colonizers run our world, and we just keep cheering them, I think the kids need to watch this show because it'll tell them what the future might be like if we don't back things up a little bit, if we don't take control back. They had some creepy monsters wash up after Hurricane Harvey. Yeah. Deep sea. We don't know what's in the deep sea. You know what? There was a theory. Lynn, about that a lot of the creatures in the ocean, a lot of deep sea creatures are actually aliens. That they fall here, they come here on asteroids, microbiology, because most asteroids that come here, most comets, they all land in the ocean. If anything's alive, it comes alive, and it takes over other creatures, and it makes whatever. It's interesting that when you look at deep sea creatures, just how crazy they look. They are the most alien thing on the planet, deep sea creatures. And a lot of the imagery and a lot of modern sci-fi now, it comes from looking at what the deep sea creatures look like. And a lot of it, they found out about them after, what was the tsunami? You guys remember the tsunami, when that tsunami came in and hit Sri Lanka and it washed a lot of deep sea creatures up on the banks? And after all the water rescinded back, they actually saw all the deep sea, all the creatures that just looked like the most craziest things on the planet we've ever seen. Like if aliens actually were energy based, what they might even look like. Like, this stuff is crazy to me, but it's interesting and there's so much unknown. Like, I like the idea of, if we actually control technology, we can, instead of making drones to go bomb and murder people so we can steal their resources, we can actually make drones that just go and explore the bottom of the ocean. Like, the bottom of the ocean is so important because there's so much down there. They say we know more about the surface of Mars and the moon than we actually do of what's on the bottom of the oceans. The cure for cancer could be down there, y'all. The cure for colonization could be down there. So instead of using technology to go kill people 3,000 miles away, if we are actually running our world and we tell the colonizers, how the technology will be utilized, and we put the colonizers in prisons and whatever, put them in places where they can't hurt people, just lock them up in their mansions, we can explore the bottoms of the ocean, right? This is what the kids want to do. We're explorers, like human beings. We want to learn. That's what we want to do. That's what we are. It's one of the reasons I don't like school. You don't explore too much in school. They just teach you how to be a slave that actually works and works for the colonizers. That's why I don't know what I believe with college anymore. I don't know what I believe about sending kids and teaching them it's a good idea to continue to hand the world to these big corporations. I think it's a bad idea. So that's interesting. The other interesting thing to me about when the water levels drop, when the tsunamis come in and the water goes out, you can see all the ancient structures that are off the coastlines, because that's what human beings always do. We always oh, look at this. we always live by the coast. And so when the tsunamis pull the water back out, you can actually see the reefs and what's under there, a very clear picture. And they can actually see structures, and they know that there are all these ancient cities off the coastlines, pretty much everywhere, because it's like our cities today. A lot of our cities are on the coastline because everybody wants to live by the coast. I have some theories on that, but so if we always live by the coast and the water levels are always going up, then most human beings probably always do live by the coast. Water, it gives us life. It gives us fish from the ocean and water to drink by the lakes and the rivers. So we always want to migrate and live by the water. But with climate change always coming and going, water going up, coming down. I know, I'm not going to talk about climate change. Climate change is a good thing, though, y'all. It brings us together. All those ancient structures and cities get lost. All those pyramids end up in the bottom of the ocean. We forget how old we are as humanity because we know, there are cities under the water that haven't been dry, for tens of thousands, if not millions of years. So that's the other thing I like about tsunamis are good, y'all. They kill people. That's bad. But we learn from this stuff. We got to take control of our world back. Sister Joyce talking about Lemuria and Atlantis. You got me on Lemuria. I have to say that you got me. Atlantis to me is interesting. Might be true. Could be plausible. And you know what? Lemuria could be too. I think my biggest problem with Lemuria, and I think it could be possible, is I think my first exposure to Lemuria, it was a video and it was animated and it was kind of weird. It went there. Like it really went there. The Lemurians, but we don't know anything about our past. If the Lemurians were real, how would we actually know? To me, it seems crazy. And this was my indoctrination. Like when I started watching if somebody has a good 8-hour long Lemurian thing, send it to me. I'll watch it. I like to watch things a little more than reading. Got a little more time for that. I mean, I'll take a look at it. And it's because it's interesting to me. We don't know what happened on this planet long before us. And my indoctrination kicks in and it tells me, no, that's just fake. That couldn't be real, But it could be. But we don't know. But instead of fighting with somebody, Lemuria can't be this, because that's what I wanted to do. My body fought it. My body was like, Lemuria can't be real. Wanted to fight it. A culture millions of years ago, but my ancient archaeology side of me is like, look, dummy, wait a minute. What do you mean? They're finding walls and structures and cups and sandals and damn it, batteries and what else they find? Screws and the spark plug and rocks and like all this stuff and coal they're finding. They're finding all this stuff that human beings are millions of years old. And they try their hardest to explain it away, but it's too much. They can't keep up with it. They can't explain it all away. That's why I don't think they were ready for the internet. I think the internet screwed up the colonizers because there's so much evidence coming out. It's ridiculous. But my colonizing indoctrination jumps in and it wants to say the Lemurians weren't real. And I don't really know. So I backed up on it. I said, you know what? I don't know. I don't do no Lemurian hating. I don't know nothing about, but if you got a good video, I'll take a look at it. The Outer Limits. Yeah, Joyce, I love the Outer Limits. It was a great show. But we always used to go after our outer limits. We always would explore. We'd always look for something new. Maybe ayahuasca, show other dimensions. Yeah, you going there, Grace. You know what? I'm interested in ayahuasca. If I end up down South America somewhere, I can find somebody that's got some ayahuasca where I can do it in a place where I don't go to prison because I'm not in. Because I think in the United States, you can do it. You have to do it with like it has to be for the religion. And there's a religion that uses ayahuasca and they'll introduce you to it. But I got some problems with ayahuasca though. I do. Let me tell you what my problems are. Because I had a friend who went and did it. I think in Philadelphia, there was a church that does it and they got together and, and they introduced people to ayahuasca. I think maybe it does tap you into something. They talk about the queen, like people see the queen snake or something like that. I think it's possible that it opens your mind, expands you, and it taps you into it. My biggest issue is it makes you have diarrhea and makes you throw up. See, you lose me at diarrhea and throw up. Like and I'm not a smoke guy. I'm not smoking marijuana, nothing like. I don't do none of that, even cigarettes, because I don't like smoke in my lungs. That's the only thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But you lose me on the diarrhea and vomit part. That's not a party, man. That's not. If I gotta get up every 5, you do your ayahuasca, you drink it. They say, what did Graham Hancock say? It tastes like death, or it tastes like some old sweaty socks inside of a cow's intestine and just came out. And somebody put some hot water with it and made a tea. I like things that taste good, y'all. I know I'm a punk when it comes to that. But you're going to tell me that I'm gonna take this stuff and I'm gonna get up every 10, 15 minutes and throw up, and then I'm gonna have diarrhea and throw up. I don't I don't drink cow milk, and avoid ice cream, and I don't take medications because I haven't been sick in over a decade. I don't like stomach viruses when it comes. Yeah, no, I remember I used to, oh man, back when I had health indoctrination, right? When I used to take the medicine and the drugs and I used to eat all the processed food and all that, when I was still in my in health indoctrination, colonization world, used to get the stomach virus, used to run to the bathroom, and like on the way to the bathroom, you don't know which end is gonna come out first. You're like, you're running to the bathroom like it's coming out of this end and this end. Which do I want to clean up? And you got to make that split-second decision before you get in the bathroom, open the door. Which end do I want to clean up off of the wall and the floor? Hell no, that's not a party. That's not a party. Nope, nope. Yeah, don't invite me to that one. And you get in the bathroom, oh man, I'm so glad my kids are grown up and they're eating organic, natural food and nobody gets stomach viruses in my house anymore. Oh man, that's like toxic waste. You go in the bathroom, it's on the floor, the walls, the ceiling, you try to clean it up, hold your breath because you don't want to get sick too. Stomach viruses, man, that's some colonizer stuff. The ancients never had stomach viruses, y'all. I don't believe it. You can't tell me. We get that stuff because we eat trash today. No, that's not a party. You're not gonna get me on ayahuasca. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if I'm real drunk one day, and that's gonna be hard to do because I don't drink. I mean, I might every now and then have a little sip of something, but I don't get drunk. But yes, not ayahuasca. I'd have to. I think DMT and magic mushrooms or something. That's interesting to me. But that whole that's not gonna happen. That's like telling me, hey, let's go get a stomach virus, then we're gonna meet the gods. No, that's gods. I don't need to meet them. Nope, nope. I don't need to meet them. So yeah, so Lumeria. I guess Lumeria's supposed to. I don't know a whole lot about Lumeria. Y'all could introduce it to me if you like. Lynn said the oligarchs don't have any brains. I know. Start talking about diarrhea. That's when you know the live stream got to come to an end. They already say I'm explicit. I don't know why. Now I know why. Shoot, I don't do that though. But the Lumerians, so yeah, it's interesting. Maybe the Lumerians built all the structures. Maybe they built all the ancient archaeology that we see, all the walls and where they came from. I don't know. But you know what? I'm not going to balk at somebody who says it. You believe it. God bless you, and it doesn't to me, and being Christian, a fringe Christian, maybe that's or a Christian that actually believes in Christ, that you're not supposed to murder people and take what they got, that you're supposed to study to show thyself approved, not just study King James's version of the truth. You know, but I'm good with it. I don't think the Lumerians break what I believe. I think Christ was in tap with something that Buddha was in tap with, that Shiva was in tap with. Maybe the Lumerians were in tap with it. Maybe Lumerians brought it. I don't know. But, I'm not lost in pretending I know. We just heard Jacques Cousteau's son at a conference last week. He's going deep sea diving at 80. Yeah, Grace. And Jacques Cousteau started it, though. Jacques Cousteau got a lot of us to fall in love with what is under that ocean. And that's huge. We want kids to be explorative. We want kids to want to go out and find things in the world. We want them to go look where nobody's looking. Raise your kids. Take the unbeaten path, smell the roses. Take the roads least traveled. Those are the really, really smart kids. Those are the kids that become something phenomenal. But always teaching kids math, science, English, get a job for a corporation, work and die. I think that's horrible. I think that is probably the worst thing that you could do to a child. I think why would you want to teach a human being that slavery is good? Why would you want to push a human being in the direction that working for colonizers is a good thing? I think that's a major mistake. I think that we need to raise our kids to be a heck of a lot smarter. I think we need to raise our kids to be open-minded. I think we need to raise our kids to go out and find what's lost, what's not there, but always raising them to be, I'm doing something in the background, so I'm thinking. People on YouTube are watching, and I'm YouTube prejudiced, so I'm trying to spend some time with them too. Um, Teaching our kids to be explorers. You want to teach them to go out and discover in the world, not to just go to college, get a job, make money, collect asteroid dust, and die. That's tyranny. So I was looking on YouTube. A couple people out there watching. And so I see y'all. I want to say, hey, YouTube, what's happening, people? I know I'm prejudiced because I got my Facebook friends here. Y'all Facebook friends, say hi to the YouTube friends. Say hi, YouTube. You know, because I stream in multiple places. But I realize a lot of good things are happening. YouTube now, when you stream live, they're saving the comments. So when people watch the video later, they actually can see the comments, which is huge because this is where the sharing of knowledge is so important. And it's a great thing that they're doing that. So I'm trying to do my best to actually, so I see y'all YouTube. So 4 people watching on YouTube, everybody say hi to each other. YouTube, y'all can say hi though. They can't say hi back. Facebook, they can't say hi. So it's prejudice. I'm working with it though. We'll get that technology there. But I can see y'all. I wanted to see if I can see your comments coming from the YouTube family. But I don't know how to do this. I know I can hit this button and that, but I feel like Brother Chris now. I know, I'm picking with Brother Chris. I know, but it was funny. It was bad. He was talking to the other brother, and they were having a great conversation. I love Brother Chris to death. I'm not talking about Brother Chris, y'all. I love him to death. But he was talking to the other brother on the live stream, and they couldn't hear each other too well because the mics were messed up. Meanwhile, we were watching. We could hear everybody good. He's like, my mic ain't working. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Go back and forth. And Chris said, you know, because like the camera, like because you know how the phone cameras you can see. And Chris like, I don't know why the mic ain't working. I don't know. Here, let me turn upside down. So you're watching at home, and all of a sudden the screen goes upside down. Let me turn upside down, see if that worked. And he turned the screen. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. Chris, don't watch it. Y'all don't tell Chris to watch that part. He turned the microphone upside down, thought it would fix the volume on the. I'm sorry. It's all right. I'm done. I'm not gonna say that more. Man, Chris is awesome. Y'all, if y'all don't follow Brother Chris, y'all should follow him. He does great interviews with people. He gets out a lot of good information. So anyway, where are we at? Are y'all letting me go? So YouTube, I do apologize though, because I actually can't see your comments yet. I don't know how to make that work on my phone. I'll see them when I'm done, but I can't see them. But I appreciate you, YouTube. I appreciate y'all watching. The 4 people over there, and I got my people over here in Facebook and Periscope. I can't see Periscope. I'm Periscope prejudiced, y'all. I can't see Periscope. So if you're on Periscope watching me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna work on it. It's gonna take us a while. All the live stream platforms are different, and they don't want you to consolidate them. They're all trying to, because it's all about money. If they keep them separate and everything. So I'm just playing with technology, trying to merge it all. So if anybody got any good recommendations for me, I appreciate it. So that's what we were talking about today. I'll look at the last couple comments and I'll wrap it up. But we're talking about, there's a lot of good evidence that, I'm gonna show you a link before I do that. Unless y'all have something great y'all want to talk about. I know there's a couple more comments in the room. I wanted to show y'all this link. Blah, 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 at the top. I'll post the link. Can I post the link from here? Oh, I think I can. Hold on. I'm going to post the link so y'all can see the link. It's a page I found interesting. It's called Forbidden Knowledge. It's on bibliotecasapataladinades.net. I hope you got all that. All right, I'm going to post the link. I'm going to see if I can post the link here. Here, the problem is I got all these devices around me. I can post the link here. And so the people on Facebook can see the link, which is awesome. But on YouTube, yep, you can see it right there. You can see the link, but you can't type that. I don't think you can type that fast. I'm sorry. But it would be interesting. I know I'm talking out loud. If I could actually post a link on YouTube too, that would be phenomenal. I just don't know how to do it yet, but we'll work with it. We'll figure the technology out. So there's the link right there. That's where I'm at. I got too many things in front of me. So I want to show you the link. Here we go, right here. This was interesting, right? So I like, if you're new, to these ideas of looking at how old man is, right? How ancient humanity is, the millions of years, the evidence that we have. Go do a quick search for like evidence of man's ancient times. And you'll have other people who spend a lot of time who look at this and they got all the evidence and they can see everything. Uh-oh, am I froze? What the heck just happened? I don't know what just happened. Um, but they already did the research, and they can actually go and give you a list of the things they thought were the most interesting. I think I might be froze, or am I just froze on my thing? I think I might be froze. Yeah, okay, I was froze on my thing. Um, and just go through them. Like that's the best place to start. If it's interesting to you that there are millions of people around the planet who are saying millions of other people, millions, blah, blah, blah. Humanity is millions of years old, and that there's evidence that there were civilizations on Earth going back millions of years. Do one of those searches. I just posted this link. You can go out to this page, but I found it interesting because they kind of walk through, a little bit of the evidence, right? Because all the things that they're finding, and here they kind of explain the different periods of civilization, or the different periods on Earth, the dinosaurs and the Cretaceous and blah, 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 Mesozoic, Paleolithic, and it's really interesting. So the link is there if you want to follow there, but it kind of walks through the different things that were found at different periods. Now, mind you, I've not vetted any of it. I didn't look at this. Some of the stuff I think I remember, but it'll go down and it'll show you, here is this thing, right? So in the Pleistocene era, they found a copper coin that goes back 200,000 years. The neat thing to do if you want to start to research that stuff is go back and type in what you actually see there. I'm so mad. I want to see my YouTube. I'm excited. I'm mad. I'm excited and mad at the same time. I want to see the comments on YouTube, but I can't see them. So I have to figure that out at another time. But I appreciate you guys watching over there. So go down but leverage yourself on the research of another group. And the reason why is because there's a lot of lies. There's an awful lot of lies out there, and you'll get trapped in some fake news. You'll get trapped in some fake archaeology if you're not careful. Like a lot of the things I like to look at are the maps, right? Because maps were treasure to the ancient kings. They all had maps that they hid from everybody because maps were gold. They showed you where the gold were. They were worth more than the treasures. So I like maps, but there's a lot of ancient archaeology that they're uncovering. But the problem is humans do what they always do. They lie. And so a lot of people out there making up, ancient archaeology that'll get you in a trap of some fake news. So you want to vet everything that you find. And so this was an interesting site I went to, and they're talking about, here was a skull, a human skull that was found in a layer, archaeological layer that's 800,000 years old. And so you can start there and do a search, and just do a search online. Tanzania skeleton, 800,000 years old. Put the name of the scientist as well as the Professor Hans Reck, and go do your own research. And you'll go find out. Don't go to Snopes, though. I'm not a Snopes guy. I don't believe any. Snopes is a colonizer website. They lie about too much. So I don't do no Snopes, but there might be some true stuff on Snopes. I don't do that anymore. But go out there and do some searching. Educate yourself on it. And then type in that debunked. Type in, so this one, what is this? The Venus statue. Type in Venus statue debunked and see what the other side says. Like, this is how research works online, and see if they actually answer all the questions the ancient archaeologists say. And if they don't, then you know that you're kind of tapping onto something. But this is interesting. And so, and I think Mary Leakey started this. Y'all remember Mary Leakey? Mary Leakey, she's a troublemaker. She was a troublemaker. She was the one who went back there and she found, she was the one who she was the archaeologist who dug up in the different layers and found evidence of human beings going back millions of years. I think she started a lot of this. And after she did the first one that she put in there, people really started to say, wait a minute, maybe there was something here millions of years ago. And of course, the Lumerian people are like, hey, Lumeria, and I didn't believe in Lumeria, so I didn't do that. I just believed that at the time it was my Bible Christian stuff that God destroyed the earth by flood and said he'd never do it again. which made no sense if he never did it the first time. If he did it the first time, how can he tell about the first time? Because he lied about it. Well, the guy didn't lie. I'm sorry, guy. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I just playing. I get excited. I talk. But the point is that the angels and the demons were here before then. What are those things? You know, and so archaeologists kind of agrees with that. And to me, it's all interesting, but you got to do your research and you got to question it. Is that Brother Thor? Brother Thor's at the house. Ah! All right, I got to say hi to Thor. There's the reason why. Thor is the anti-Gerard. He's the anti-archaeology Gerard. That's my brother, my good brother Braden. He's in the house. I'm glad you're back on YouTube. So what you want to do is do your research on both sides. Because to be honest, I'll be honest with you. Most of the stuff I look at, it comes back false. Most of the stuff that's really delicious and sexy and interesting, it's already been debunked. But you got to do your research on both sides. And so the good thing is we can have an intellectual conversation. Is man over millions of years old on real research that hasn't been debunked? Because the key and the reason why you got to have a Thor, you got to have you got to have a brother Thor around. Y'all, if y'all see me go back and forth with Thor on the thread, I'm not fighting with him. What we're doing is we're beating down the BS so we have something real to talk about. If you don't actually beat out the BS, the psyop stuff, you know how people say aliens are psyops? If you don't beat out the lie that, you know, well, it's not a lie. The Americans flying in the highly advanced technology, the stealth fighters, all this stuff, the U-2s, all the things they thought were UFOs. If you don't beat that stuff out, you know, you got to hate fake news. You got to hate lies. You got to hate fake alien stuff. You got to hate fake UFO. You got to hate fake ancient archaeology if you actually are looking for the truth. Because we can't have a real discussion about what might be true if we're busy talking about the brother that was the boxer in the alien space boxing agency. I know, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm not supposed to laugh. I know. It might be true. Maybe he did. Maybe he was a boxer in the alien boxing ring. I don't think it's that plausible. But if we don't beat out what's not true, we can't find what's true. And so, yeah, so they find this was like during the Pleistocene area, they found a figurine that's supposed to be 2 million years old. Ain't nobody supposed to be making no figures. No G.I. Joe. Y'all see the G.I. Joe? He ain't got the Kung Fu grip, but that's a G.I. Joe. You're not supposed to have no G.I. Joes going back in the Pleistocene area, in the Pliocene area. Here's another one. It talks about a modern human skull found in Italy 3 to 4 million years ago. Here's another one, carved red crag between 2 and 2.5 million years ago. And so that's a seashell that somebody carved a smiley. Y'all see the smiley face? Nah, see that kicks into mine. That kicks into my humor indoctrination. I'm like, I don't know if I believe that one. Because, all right, hear me out. And I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying, if I were a hunter-gatherer and I was out hunting for food, looking at Butu and Gawa, and we got to go find some sheep, hunt, eat, you know, make food, grow food, some lions trying to kill us, I'm not sure that I'm going to draw a clown alien face in a seashell, but I could be wrong. That totally could be true. I don't know, but I look at things and my skepticism, I got a skepticism gene where I look at something and I want to believe it. Like I do want to believe that 2 million years ago, somebody carved that into a thing, but I don't know. But then you also got to look at how they found it, right? You got to look at who found it, right? Did they have any motives for it? Did they possibly carve it in? Did they do a study based on where it was found in the rock stratus in the soil layers? Or did they actually do a study from the carving, right? Where it was from? And so that's all. You got to look at all the angles. So when you get in a discussion, you actually can answer the questions. If you are getting got because you didn't do all your research, then it looks like you're making something up. So anyway, so if you want to look at this, you should look at it. So I posted the link. Take a look at it. I can't put it on YouTube, I guess. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Hang on. We're going to try this. We're going to try to put it on YouTube. I'm probably going to get in trouble. I know I'm pushing the limits of my technomonology, but if I don't try this stuff, I won't ever know if I can do it. Let me head on over to my channel. I'm live. I see my people. Uh-oh.
limits of my tech.
All right, I come up, I'm live.
Try this stuff.
Nope,
I won't
I can't do
know if I can do it. Let me
Yep, I can't do it.
head on over to my channel.
Oh, look at that.
I'm
Look. Oh, my
live.
gosh. What's up, people? I see my YouTube people. Oh, man, this is, man, I'm getting teary-eyed. Now I got to figure out, though, how to do it. That's probably, I see my people. It's going to take a serious, like, look at that. Y'all see the YouTube people?
I'm live. Try this.
Joe Rodriguez, what's going on? All right, this is cool, man. Joe Hickey. P. Brooks, yes, all right. We got people watching over there. I wanted to say hi to y'all. So we have to get the family together. I don't know how to do it yet. It's gonna take some technology. I probably had Thor. You gonna help me out with this? Thor, he's another IT guy. He knows how to. Brother Carl, you know, we gotta get all this stuff together. Hold on, let me get off of that. I don't want to do that. But I appreciate y'all being there. I can't. I got like 8 screens in front of me right now. I'm lying. It's not 8 screens, but it's like 3, but it's still confusing me. And I got to get off of here. I don't have anything to do, but this is long. I didn't eat breakfast yet. I don't even know what time it is. And, but this is cool. So this is why I want you to do it. If you're new to ancient archaeology, if you're new to like questioning the colonizers handed down history, you go there, you look at it, and then you go back to your friends and talk to them about it. Maybe they heard something that this is not true, that this is not a, what is that pummel thing right there? Where the mortar, what is it? I forgot what it's called, where you stir up and grind the thing. Maybe it's not 55 million years old. Maybe somebody found out it's not, but maybe it hasn't been debunked and maybe it's true. And then we can start to have conversations. Like there's a difference in tens of thousands of people questioning the colonizers' history. There's a difference in millions of people doing it because the real questions they have are the undebunked topics versus people who are like in the, what do they call them? Not psyops, but when they put people in there who got the fake news and they're just trying to stir it up and take away the credibility of ancient archaeology. We got to get rid of that. But during the Mesoperic area, I won't go down to all of it, but I will say this though. This one I started looking at, this tube right here that they found. There actually is a site that says that that's debunked, that you can go in and look at the details. So, but anyway, I posted the link. I couldn't post it to YouTube, but I'll go out and post it later. I look at the last couple comments, y'all, and I'm gonna get off of here. I'm tired. A brother is tired. It was fun though, hanging out with y'all for 3 freaking hours. I think I did that last weekend too. These are long talks, but I guess it's kind of fun to talk about a bunch of stuff. Good to see you back, brother Braden. You and Damien. I think Damien was here earlier. Y'all need to stop getting thrown off of Facebook. Stop talking about Mark Zuckerberg mama. Y'all be nice to Mark Zuckerberg. He gives us a platform where we can talk about, have some fun. But y'all talk about him, you lose your profiles, and y'all got to keep coming back. I'm not gonna get into it. All right. Check out Lord Pi about human genetics. He believes someone intervened with human DNA. Thank you, Rochelle. I will. I think I've actually saw something on it because I think that's what God is. I do. I don't know it to be true. I don't know for sure, sister, but I think that all the ancient religions were just genetic engineers. I think they came here and they modified the DNA. They took 98% monkey because the evolutionary people, they're not wrong either. You know, we got 98, 99% monkey DNA. It's a fact. You know, so I ain't a monkey's uncle because I was raised that way. That was my indoctrination. I ain't a monkey's uncle, the Christian thing. And that's a lie. We not monkey's uncle, but damn it, we sure are related. And why are we related? Perhaps because an ancient genetic engineer came here, or humans in the future discovered time travel and came back and wanted to evolve us faster, or the reptilians, maybe we were reptilians first and they made it to the future first and they came back and said, you know what, the reptilian thing didn't work out too well. Reptiles too dumb. Let's do some genetic engineering with some monkeys. Maybe monkeys would be smarter. And they took the chimps and they did some genetic engineering. We'll try the chimp thing out for a while. The reptiles, because people believe the reptiles are underneath the earth. So maybe they are underneath the earth. They went down there and see if this will work out. Maybe they'll be smarter because you know, that's how we do, because we think chimps are dumb and we got 98% chimp DNA. So I don't know. But that's interesting, Rochelle. I have to take a look at it. Thank you for the link. I'll take a look at it. Crystal said, go eat. Yes, Crystal, I'm about to shut this down in a few seconds. I'm gonna look at the last 2, 3 comments, and I'm out of here. Oh, Pestle Immortal. Thank Pestle and Mortar. Thank you, Joy. So hopefully we can all look these things up together. Sister Deborah done went away and came back. Deborah, we done, girl. I'm tired. All I had was some coffee today, and I'm hungry. I gotta eat. But you know what? Intermittent fasting is a thing. Intermittent fasting is a thing. Ah, dang it. Hi, bring up another topic. You know. So how did, and I'm gonna do this tied to religion. In all religion, you're supposed to fast. Why? Like in the Christian, when it says some things only come by prayer and fasting. And so they did it. And Christians would fast, and people, they don't know why. You know, Hindu, Muslims, they'll fast. They don't know why. You know, the people who didn't believe that, like, you crazy dumb. Why are you fasting? And then enters a study on intermittent fasting, IF. Look it up. It's good online. You can, in fact, go to pubmed.com, look up the research. They found out that one of the ways to actually improve your health is to fast. That when you fast, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the way it works out is your body reharvests the white blood cells. And when it reharvests those white blood cells, the new ones that are getting created for the current problems in your body now. So if you're dying of lung cancer, let's say, but your body isn't developing white blood cells, most of the white blood cells in your body from back when you were kids or 10 years ago, and the problems with your body at that time, it's not cranking out macrophages and white blood cells to go after that. So that when you fast, your body reharvests the white blood cells. It kind of reboots your immune system. And so now your immune system's cranking out white blood cells that are going after the problems your body see right now. And so it's freaking amazing. I know it's fantastic, phenomenal. All I know is just today is an awesome time to be alive, people. It's an awesome time because science is actually linking up with history, and science is linking up with religion, and religion is starting to stop the fight with the hippies, because everybody's starting to, all of this truth on the internet is all starting to come together because people are having dialogue and they're talking, and we're finding out Lumerians might be real. I don't know. They might be real. Could be. All right, you guys. I appreciate y'all jumping in. Hey, Sister Lisa, Sharon, y'all came in late. We finished up. Y'all can go back to the beginning. I'm tired. I got to get some money. Not some money. Did I say money? That's the indoctrination. Slipped all out my mouth. I got to get some food, but I said money because I'm indoctrinated to follow the colonizers and chase wealth because I've been doing it my whole life. Working for corporations, trying to make money to get food, and psychologically two pathways just connected in the microbiome. You pushed it out my mouth to remind me how indoctrinated I am, that I still got a lot of breaking down to do. My son knows a lot about space, aliens, and he's into all of that. He in his history in his early 30s, I'm going to share your videos. He's not, he's into all of it. Yeah, well, thank you, Karina. I appreciate it. I think we all need to be into it. I do. I think that we all need to look at what everybody else is passionate about. I think that we've isolated ourselves for too long, and we got to come back together. We got to go back to our tribal stories. And that's how I kind of look at this. That's why I want more of y'all to come on here with me. Let me do some interviews. I think we're just telling stories around the fire, people. Oh, I'm going to end on this. Let me see if I can find a picture for it. I like me some pictures. I love the pictures, the stories around the fire. Because we always used to circulate around the fire. You know, why is that important to our evolution? Because at nighttime, it's when the world was trying to kill us. We all rallied around the campfire. We all told stories around the campfire because it was the only thing that kept the bad away, right? When the light went down, we all could get around the fire, and everything that wanted to eat us and kill us came out to eat us and kill us because it could hunt in the dark. It had eyeballs and that could actually see in the dark where we couldn't see it. And this is when the tigers and the bears would come to eat us. But we could sit around the campfire and we could tell stories to each other. We could talk about our voyages. If anybody from another tribe were there, we could share that story back and forth. And this is how we gained a lot of knowledge around the campfire. The kids listen in, the stories got handed down. So we got to go back to telling stories around the campfire, people. We got to go back to listening to others' passions about the things that really make their day start. Um, and maybe in that sharing of knowledge, that sharing of information, you get a little piece of information that links into something, one of your understandings, and then you share that. And we start to put together a matrix, not a colonizing matrix of keeping us lost and not knowing any truth, but a matrix of what our ancients always tried to tell us and they always tried to hand down to us. So we would never end up in a day like we are today, where we fight each other over things that mean nothing. At the end of the day, they mean absolutely nothing. And we can start to put together what's true, whittle out what's not true, put the colonizers back in the box that they came out of, and start re-evolving the human race to being the great things that we were supposed to be before we found money. All right, people, it was good talking to you guys. I got to go eat me some food. I love y'all to death. Thanks for hanging in there. It was a real long one. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.